Howdy, howdy. We are live on this wonderful Saturday evening. Feels like Christmas morning, though,
It
because we just got a
does. It
gift
does.
courtesy of New York Comic Con.
Cheers, Star Trek.
Cheers. Yeah, it is a great day. Multiple great things revealed. We got trailers for Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Star Trek Prodigy Season 1B. That's what we call it. We have Season 1A and Season 1B. And also a trailer for the show Starfleet Boy. I know is not really interested in, but I don't know. Maybe today, maybe something was sparked that'll make him actually give a shit about Star Trek Picard. But yeah, we have a new trailer for Star Trek Picard Season 3.
I died and went to heaven, Father. It was so good. It was beyond everything I ever dreamt. It's insane. That's all I gotta say. It's insane.
Well, Amos agrees with you. He's barking. He's mad because I wouldn't give him dinner, but
Oh,
he wouldn't poop when I took him outside, so he doesn't get dinner until after the stream. Those are the rules. I do make the rules, but I guess I also
interesting.
enforce them.
Interesting. Very
Yeah, he's being a
interesting.
bad dog. He's just so excited about Star Trek. He's unable to concentrate on his normal routine. I'm sure that's the case. But yes. So we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about all of that. And I see that we have several people already watching. So I'm glad the enthusiasm is contagious. It has infected all of us. We're all eager to discuss. So please, by all means, if you are watching live, sound off in the chat. We would love to hear your thoughts on what we saw. Just starting off, what was some of the highlights that really stood out to people? What were some of the things that was just like the coolest thing of the whole panel. Before we kind of run through the whole thing, Starfleet Boy. Let me just ask you. I already know you're gonna say Picard, but what stole the show for you?
Picard. But I was really impressed with Star Trek's turnout in general. Like it really gave me FOMO to not have been able to go there and be a part of it. Like they had the Murph dolls. Like there was a lot of Star Trek people cosplaying. It looks like a lot of folks showed up for Star Trek, and just these announcements were whoppers. Like for obviously the Picard thing took the cake, and they saved it for last, and rightly so. I mean, like, gosh, all of them up there on that panel together just was like so delightful. But that Prodigy stuff was really cool, and Disco trailer looks insane too. I'm not gonna lie, like that looks pretty cool. Like there's something going on new there. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm very excited about just Star Trek in general. Obviously, Picard's the thing I'm most excited about. What about you, Father?
I was kind of expecting a big thing for Star Trek Picard. I'd been saying for weeks and weeks, like yeah, like they got a long stretch before February. They're gonna save a lot of the big stuff for later. They're not gonna show us much the first few trailers. They still haven't shown us a ton, I guess, but I felt like here's the first time we're gonna get like a hint at the story. We're gonna get a glimpse into who our bad guys are, and that's exactly what we got. So that was cool to see. But I gotta say, in addition to having the big Picard stuff, I'm really really excited about Prodigy right now. That's a show that I felt has not gotten much attention over the, I guess, entire year. We got like a little 5 episode burst of Prodigy a year ago, and then it was on to Discovery, and then here's another like little 5 episode burst of Prodigy, and then okay, it's on to the rest of Discovery, and then Picard, and then Strange New Worlds, and now Lower Decks. It almost felt like it was like the forgotten show. So I'm glad that we're getting back to it. It's actually gonna have like 10 episodes, back to back to back to back to back to back to back, which it has been denied until now. So I think that's cool. And I think, yeah, now that they've kind of established their characters and their own little corner of the Star Trek universe, now they're going to really start branching out and connecting it up to things we've seen before, characters we've seen before. That it looks like, and just some of the things that they were talking about in the panel, like, yeah, we're gonna get Borg, but we're also gonna get Romulans and Klingons. These Prodigy kids are gonna run into everything. We have returning Starfleet characters. We have new Starfleet characters. So I think Prodigy is the thing I'm most excited for right now, short term. Long term, obviously, I'm as eager to see Picard season 3 as anyone else. And that's definitely where the majority of the fandom, I think, where their hearts are right now. People have loved Strange New Worlds. People are digging Lower Decks, but I think the overall Star Trek fandom is just dying to see this third season of Picard, and I think that's an incredible testament to just the love of TNG, of the next generation. Even if I do personally consider it the most overrated Star Trek show of them all, but it is a great show. It's my fourth favorite Star Trek show, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and yeah, there is such a love of those characters that Picard season 1, season 2 both had kind of rocky receptions. And I know there's people who really enjoyed both of those. There's definitely large parts of those first two seasons that I myself love and would defend. But there's a lot of people who really struggled with them. I would go as far to say that, with the exception of Discovery, Picard might be the show that's like the most controversial of all the modern Star Treks in production. Yet it is the one people are most enthused to see, the next episode of. People are just I run polls on this all the time, just with my small Twitter following, and just at least in that sample, I always see anything like Picard related always has like the most enthusiasm, the most anticipation. So yeah, I'm definitely over the next few months, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I encourage people, like, enjoy the ride. Don't get too like bent out of shape on trying to figure out the story, trying to piece together all the leaked information. Just kind of enjoy this anticipation and this build up to likely the last time we're ever going to have a story focused on these 7 characters and all of them together like this.
I don't know. Sir Patrick Stewart said there still could be a movie, but likely
Yeah,
yes. I hear what you're saying.
and I have thoughts on that. But will it be like all of them together again, and just them being the focus? I'm sure these characters, with as much Star Trek as in production, I'm sure many of them will show up again. Will they ever all be together though? And if they are all together, are they just going to be like in the background of like some bigger story, or will it actually be like a next generation type story? They definitely seem to be Terry Metallis's, and he talked about this in the panel, and we'll get to it, but his focus seemed to be on making, okay, this is going to be a 10-hour final next generation movie. That's what they set out to do. I think what Star Trek 6 was for the original series. This is going to be the Star Trek 6 for TNG, but just 10 hours long.
And I would go so far to say is that I think it's going to have its own things. My belief is it's going to have its own things that stand out, where people will be like, wow, that was like a new spin on saying goodbye to a Star Trek like era, if you will, because having seen Terry Matalas and his crew's other work, and then now having seen this trailer, this season's going to be outstanding. I just feel it. Like, I know I don't like to make kind of bold statements like that, Father. I know you hate that. I think you said, "Oh, I hate it when people say, oh, I already know this is like my favorite thing ever." But I think you'll let me get away with saying, I already know this is going to be the best thing ever that we've gotten in modern Star Trek.
I don't think I will like it as much as DS9 season 6, but I think I'm just encouraging people, like, don't expect it to be like the best thing ever, because it's probably not going to be. There's probably going to be episodes in it
it's
you don't
not
like.
even an expectation, it's a feeling, Father. It's different.
Well,
it's not like an expectation.
you know how I'm looking at, like, okay, the parts of Picard season 1 and 2 that I like, and there's a lot that I like.
Yeah, I know.
In Picard seasons 1 and 2, but yeah, I'm expecting the show to be like good on like that level. I'm not expecting it to just like be like just the best thing ever since sliced bread. I think that's an unrealistic expectation that will lead people to disappointment. So I encourage people not to think that. Also encourage people to prepare yourself. It's going to be very action heavy. This is going to be more of an action adventure series. So you're just like, tell yourself that now, so you don't get bent out of shape that it's too actiony. Like what Star Trek Nemesis was trying to be. How Star Trek Nemesis kind of like leaned into the action. I think this is kind of trying to be like, okay, we're gonna do like Star Trek Nemesis, but good. So I think that's
Wow.
I think that's kind of like the attempt here. It's like, yeah, one good final hurrah for these characters. Let's give them like a big epic send off. I think that is the goal.
I think I'm so hype about it because if you listen since the very beginning of Starfleet Boy, the channel, I've been waiting for something like this. Originally, I thought it would be like a movie But having a TV series as a finale and a send off is like way beyond anything I ever expected. Having Moriarty, even though I was like kind of like, I think you saw the Daniel Davis thing I did like a couple of years ago. Like
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
was
talk about
trying to,
that. We're gonna talk
yeah,
about that.
I was trying to doubt it, and I was like, nah, they're never gonna do that. And then they did it, but it looks amazing. The way that it looks, it. I feel like it's gonna be great.
And I just want to point out our friend parenthesis I is saying I
Yeah.
disliked both seasons of Picard so much that I'm unfortunately expecting to be fully disappointed by the third season. But I can't not watch it since I love Star Trek so much. So see, he is in the perfect mindset to be pleasantly surprised.
Yes,
So,
he is actually.
yeah, just people don't get too
Yeah, don't be
crazy
like
with your
Starfleet Boy.
hopes and
Starfleet Boy is
dreams.
a
Like,
weirdo. Starfleet Boy is a little
yeah,
different.
that's gonna be the road to disappointment, I think.
Not at all. Not
Um,
for me. I already know
well,
it.
let's talk about the other stuff, Discovery and Prodigy. Just starting with Discovery. We hadn't heard much on Discovery season 5. Makes sense. They're still shooting. They're probably like halfway done. I expect them to finish around the end of the year. I think we don't have a date for Discovery season 5, but I think we'll probably get it in summer, maybe June at the earliest. So the entire Star Trek universe panel is moderated by I think his name is Josh Horowitz. Josh, right?
Yeah, he was great. I liked him a lot as a host.
Yeah, he does like a lot of nerdy stuff. But I guess he currently works for MTV, which and Comedy Central, both of which are owned by the larger Paramount Global umbrella. So makes sense why he got the job here to promote Star Trek. But he did a good job. We saw some of the moderators Reed Pop hired for the panels in Chicago, and I think he's better than most of them. That's all I'll say on that. But we were told, Starfleet Boy, or Moriarty Boy, or whatever you're going by today. I'm pretty sure that's not how you spell Moriarty, but
Oh,
maybe it is. I don't know.
did I spell it wrong? All right, I'll fix it.
But we were told Sonequa Martin Green would be there in New York. She was busy though. She is up in Toronto shooting. They needed her for work, so instead they sent everyone's favorite gay space dads, Wilson Cruz and Anthony Rapp. So I was glad to see them representing the show, along with showrunner Michelle Paradise, Alex Kurtzman, and Rod Roddenberry. And Sonequa was still able to phone it in. They had her on screen in the captain's chair. So that's kind of cool. Like they let her okay, go on like the Discovery set, and we'll like shoot you from there and beam you in. So
I
uh,
love the lighting of the set, like in this like dim, very dim lighting, but I also wonder if they've repainted the set. It looks a little different with the tones
I
back
think
there,
that's the
but
lighting.
yeah,
But
it could be
I don't
probably
know.
the
We'll have to
lighting.
see if there's any shots in this trailer.
Yeah,
Um,
it's definitely the lighting, I'm sure, but I like it. I like the way it looks, and I love Sonequa Martin Green. She's fantastic, and I love that she was, if she couldn't be there, but she was on the set, like in the captain's chair. It looked great. So that was cool.
Yeah, she's always a delight at these live events and stuff like that. But they have a new official synopsis for Discovery Season 5 that I will go ahead and read to all of y'all, even though I suck at reading out loud. But in Season 5, Captain Burnham and the crew of the USS Discovery uncover a mystery that sends them on an epic adventure across the galaxy to find an ancient power whose very existence has been deliberately hidden for centuries. But there are others on the hunt as well, dangerous foes who are desperate to claim the prize for themselves and will stop at nothing to get it. So to me, this sounds kind of like Space Indiana Jones. They're going to be trying to, find some treasure, find some ancient relic, piece the clues together. It's going to be another season-long mystery. So a lot of people have said that they're fatigued of that in Discovery. I understand that criticism, but
It might not be a mystery, but
that's
more like a caper.
it
Maybe
will be
they'll
a
tell
mystery.
us. Well, not a mystery, but more like maybe they
They
tell us what it is.
literally said the USS Discovery will uncover a
Oh yeah,
mystery.
yeah. Sorry,
In the
but like,
synopsis.
sorry. What I guess I meant is it may not be like same kind of mystery box thing that we're used to. Maybe they'll handle it
There's a literal
different.
mystery box
Yeah, it's true. That's
in
true.
the
All right,
trailer.
stop me, stop. But I don't know. There's something about it that I'm more excited about than previous mystery boxes because I don't really like know if I like the mystery box trope or whatever
Yeah.
the convention. But something about it seems cool, and also they've been kind of setting it up, right? Didn't Kovich and Bryce go off to work on something, and Kovich was like, if we find this, if this project works or if this thing works, we won't need some to do something with the 10C. I
Yeah,
forget what it
he
was.
was
Yeah,
working on something. He's like, this
yeah,
is so important that I'm not even gonna be here with like as y'all are trying to figure out the 10C. I'm on to like the next big thing. So
right. So I like that. That's potentially something that they were setting up since last season. So that's cool.
yeah, which could have that was convenient because they could kind of plug anything in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's true.
but we get some new characters. They told us some of the new characters. We get a couple of bad guys, Laak and Maul. They're a couple. They're in love, I guess, based on the description we got. But now I'll go ahead and read this. The official statement they gave on these two. Maul is a former courier turned outlaw who is highly intelligent and dangerous with an impressive strategic mind and a sharp wit. She goes into every situation with a clear plan and stays focused and clear headed on her goal, even when things go awry. She's not intimidated by Captain Burnham or the crew of the USS Discovery and will face down anyone who stands in her way in order to get what she wants. La'ak is a former courier turned outlaw who is tough, impulsive, and fiercely protective of his beloved partner Maul. So long as he knows she's safe, he doesn't care about collateral damage or its consequences. A perspective that makes him very dangerous at times and will put him on the opposite side of Captain Burnham and the crew of the USS Discovery when they come into conflict. So I think these two ex-couriers, they're going to be going after whatever ancient artifact or ancient power or whatever it is that the Discovery is going to be chasing. So these are going to be kind of like the competition, I guess.
Yeah,
So it's not a bad premise, to be honest. I think there's a lot of exciting possibilities there. We had like Star Trek villains that are kind of like a couple. They're like in love with each other, and like they might be kind of shitty people, but they care about each other. I think that's kind of an interesting dynamic.
and it could be that it's possible since they're couriers that they maybe had some adventures that ran, crossed over with Burnham and Book at the
Oh, maybe
time,
yeah.
and
Maybe
yeah,
they were competing on jobs.
right,
They
right.
might have competed with like Book and Burnham, at some point or something. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but they could totally have history.
They could have history exactly.
Michelle Paradise described them as kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde duo. So I think that's interesting.
Oh, I do like that. That is interesting. Yeah.
I think it's weird that we've been trying to figure out what's going on in Star Trek Picard for so long, and even like after the trailers and stuff today, I feel like I already understand the bad guys of Discovery season 5 better than the Picard season 3 bad guys, which I'm not complaining. I just think that's an interesting observation that like I just get like a little bit of information on this and I was like, okay, I understand what they're doing. Disco season 5. I think I can see how the pieces are going to fit. I'm still unsure about Picard season 3. It looks cool what we know, but I feel like we still don't know a ton. So
That's good.
just an observation.
I like not knowing a ton. I mean, I'm curious, and if a ton of if information, gets released officially, I'm all there for it because I feel like
Linda in our live audience says that Locke looks like a pale version of Jakar, who is the the main Narn character on Babylon 5.
Oh,
So
there is a bit of a Narn look. Ah, huh.
Maul kind of looks like I don't know, Nurse Chapel in Strange New Worlds with the platinum hair. But yeah, that's interesting. And we have another new
This is
character
so
as well.
exciting. Yeah.
Callum Keith Rennie is playing Captain Rayner.
Yeah, I forget. Did you see BSG Father? You did, right?
Battlestar
Series?
Galactica, yeah.
Oh yeah, so that's Leoben.
Oh, okay. That's what I know him from.
Yeah, totally. And a lot of other he's a great actor.
Yeah, I was like,
He's
that
actually
name
right,
sounds
yeah.
familiar. I was like, I don't remember his face,
Yeah.
but Callum Keith Rennie, that's a distinct name. I've definitely heard that before.
Yeah, he's well known to Canadians, apparently.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, a
maybe
lot of sci-fi
PJ.
shows are shot in Canada, so
That's true.
plenty of good work. He looks like he might be like half Vulcan or half Romulan or something. He's got a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like
Or
McCoy and
could he
Encounter at
just be a
Farpoints. Like
Navarin captain?
I
I mean, at this point, I
I
guess,
see some
right?
points on the mirrors, boys. They've never used the word Navarin on screen, but we don't know what people of Navarre are called. I like the word Navari, but as far as I know,
Oh, I like that too,
it's never been
Navari.
canonized.
Yeah.
Michelle, if you're out there listening, please consider making
Wow,
Navari
you're on
official canon.
first name basis with Miss Paradise. That's awesome. I like that. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
did. I saw her in person one time,
You did? Oh,
many
that's
years
so
ago.
cool.
Yeah, Vegas 2019. I didn't speak to her, but I just saw her.
She's a fantastic showrunner. I really like what she's doing at the helm of Star Trek Discovery. Ever since she came aboard, I started liking
Season
Discovery. Yeah,
4 was
yeah,
for me. It was my favorite season of Discovery. Um, I still have a few issues with the writing, but overall, I definitely agree with you. I think things have gotten better with her being there, just to have like some stability. Let's just have a consistent showrunner every year, and that kind of helped things run a little more
yeah.
smoothly.
It's a
Um,
good thing.
but yeah, Captain Rayner. Speaking of Michelle Paradise, she described him a little bit. She said, "A gruff, smart captain who holds a clear line between commander and crew. He leads, they follow. Rayner's all about the mission, whatever it may be, and he doesn't do niceties along the way. His feeling is you get the job done and apologize later. He has a storied track record of wartime success, but in times of peace, he struggles. Collaboration is not his strong suit. That said, it serves the greater good. I'm sorry, if it serves the greater good, he's willing to learn, but it won't be easy." Starfleet Boy, to me, this sounds like a 32nd century Jellicoe.
There might be vibes of that, yeah, based on that description. That's very interesting. Yeah, I like that he's gonna be like that. That's cool.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting to know Captain Rayner and the idea, like, oh yeah, this guy's like good at wartime, but now he struggles in peacetime. I think that makes sense, given the setting they've established. They were basically at odds with the Emerald Chain for a long time now that the Emerald Chain has been defeated, and Starfleet is kind of back to expanding the Federation and becoming more of a peacetime outfit. And uh, yeah, maybe it makes sense that there'd be like a guy like him who's like, okay, so what should my job be now? I was just kind of like kicking ass against the Emerald Chain. I'm not really sure how to serve society now that my ass kicking days are over. And it'd be like a natural, just the way they described him. He does sound like a bit of an asshole, but with like a good heart. So that's always going to lead to like some good dramatic sparks, when he bumps head with Saru and Burnham and whatnot.
Yeah, it'll be definitely interesting. Also, yeah, just to see like another captain in the mix. I really like that. Having other, maybe a fellow Starfleet person as a antagonist, maybe, or just like a adversary, but
Yeah.
like in a friendly, not in a bad way, you know what I
In
mean?
the
But like
live,
just like,
I'm sorry, in the live audience, just wanted to point out, I see people like talking about his ears and try to figure out like if he's Vulcan or not. No, like his ears look weird and alien. But we saw some Romulans with really funky looking ears in Discovery in the 32nd century. There's some weird ears on Navarre. Some of the Kowat Malat sisters had like some weird ears that we hadn't didn't look like a standard Vulcan or Romulan. So I don't know. I think he might have some Navarre blood in his veins.
well, he's not from the north.
Yeah, it doesn't have the bumpy forehead. He could be something else though altogether. I don't know, maybe he's an Okampa like Kess and
I mean,
Voyager. They had
like
weird ears too.
technically Romulans as a people would probably be like too far extinct in a way by this point. Like I don't think he would identify as a Romulan. I think he would definitely be
Well, there's that
someone who,
Romulan movement on Navarre. You have the Vulcan purists, then like
well, but were they
remember when they had
calling
like the
it
three different groups?
right?
Like
They I guess, yeah, I guess the culture, the Romulan culture survives on Navarre. But yeah, I guess, yeah, it's interesting. Well, I hope this is a key to more of that though. Like to get more of that information, to see more about like what the aftermath of the Navarran, I mean, sorry, of the Romulan, I don't know what you call it, refugee, period, what the aftermath of that is, because I imagine Romulans, after their many of their home worlds are lost, go off across the across the galaxy, if you will. So there could be like Romulans that mixed with lots of different species.
Oh, everyone's getting pointy ears because of these homeless Romulans moving in. Huh. I hadn't thought of that, but I suppose that is possible. You want to talk about the trailer?
Hmm.
And let's just go through it. It's more of a teaser. We don't really get too much info, but yeah, we see some exotic locations. Some it looks like like ruined statues in the jungle or
Yeah,
the rainforest.
look at
I don't
those
know where they
eyes.
don't know where they shot it. Doesn't look like Canada, but uh, maybe it is. Um, and they're on some planet that has a very kind of Middle East kind marketplace looking what do you call
Like a
that
Marrakesh type of marketplace,
yeah.
perhaps, or someplace in Tunisia, maybe even like that kind of vibe, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but Kovic is back, and he, explained what we were talking about with the official synopsis, that the treasure hunt stuff. He says the greatest treasure in the known galaxy is out there. What are you waiting for? And then we have Burnham saying her catchphrase, "Let's fly." I do love that we're seeing Tilly back in action. We were kind of
Yes,
unsure how big of a role she would have in season 5. We knew that she was at least in some episode because we saw her in that set tour from Star Trek Day,
that's right.
but we see her a couple times in the trailer, so that bodes well. I'm all for seeing as much of Tilly as possible. Hashtag silly for Tilly. And we get
Absolutely.
that vehicle, that speeder bike or whatever that Michael Burnham was on in that promo image they've released previously. Although she's not the only one using it. We see Stamets on it in a moment. Book will be back, so it's good to know David Ajala's time in prison will not last forever. He will be set free, I suppose. Maybe they need him for this mission to go after these rogue couriers, or beat them at finding their ancient MacGuffin they're looking for.
Right on, yeah. Look at Reese.
Reese is in action mode with along with Owo.
Yeah, there's Owo back there. It's cool.
They're both ready to scrap. It looks like.
Do the phasers now have like a light on them? Did they have that previous season? Oh, they know they had that. So never mind. Sorry, but the suits, the armor, I guess had lights on them too.
Yeah, like
So yeah,
I
yeah.
call it like the Tron armor. The way that it
Right.
lights up looks like Tron Legacy or something.
Yeah, yeah. It's cool.
These robotic head
Speaking of
jerks.
Tron armor,
Yeah,
that's right.
it's like, hey, weren't these guys in the Picard season 3 trailer? So I guess the masked the villains, like a group of like masked minions. That's kind of a popular thing in the Star Trek universe these days. But Adira is back. We see Adira in the trailer.
I
Olber,
saw we didn't see Gray though, which
yeah,
I guess Gray's
no
fine
signs
on.
of Gray, so
Yeah,
they might just be chilling on Trill, being a guardian.
that's true. Yeah, I hope we do see Gray.
I like seeing Stamets on
I
the
love this, and I
vehicle
love when
though.
he's like, "Woo!"
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have pictured that. I would have thought Stamets, he might have been like kind of like, like the cowardly, like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I can't believe I'm doing this. But it's so much more fun to see him, enjoying it. I liked that. I was not
Yeah,
expecting that.
yeah, same here.
And there's some shots of Lack and Maul in action as well. So um
It's
and
good to see
Saru,
Saru. Yeah.
there's a lot of Saru running around. Although he's supposed to like run like a cheetah, so I'm not sure why he's not just like taking off like the Flash. He's supposed to have like that crazy speed. Oh,
There.
and Captain Rayner, so he's
Yeah.
down on that planet as well. And Saru and Tarina, there's gonna be more Saru Tarina story, so I like that. I liked that romantic relationship they established in season 3 and then built on in season 4.
Will this be our first Star Trek wedding since Nemesis? Speaking of weddings.
I don't know if they're gonna get married, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, would weddings even still be around by the 32nd century? I wonder.
I think so. That's like a pretty common thing in most cultures. I don't think it would go away. Tilly has like a little bit of a different haircut. It looks
Yeah,
good.
like it kind of harkens back to Was her hair curly in season 1, if I
It's always
recall?
been curly. It's
It's
always
always
been
been curly. No,
insanely
I'm thinking
curly.
because I'm thinking of the mirror Tilly. That's
Oh
why.
yeah, when she had it straightened.
Straightened, yeah. Cake wants to know who was running with Saru. I missed it. Did you see on that screenshot?
Someone else from the Discovery. It's either I think it's Burnham.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be Burnham because we see her in some other shots near that statue. So uh, yeah, and it's safe to bet all the stuff is from like the first 5 episodes of the season.
This
Because
is
I
really interesting. This little box. Some people were
yeah
calling it like the
the puzzle
Hellraiser
box.
box.
It made me think of Hellraiser, which just got a remake on Hulu.
Yeah,
Uh,
apparently, is that worth seeing? I'm not too big of a horror person, but
I really like the original movie. It's very unique. It's kind of unlike anything else. I don't know about the new one, but I'm curious to check it out. I'll have to let you know.
and
Uh,
Rillick's back. I'm so happy about
President
that.
Rillick
Yep. Oh, and there's
still around.
Vance. There's our Admiral too. I guess he's a part of our entourage, or part of the Starfleet
Yeah,
top
this is
brass,
the
I would
first
say.
confirmation we've had of Vance returning for season 5.
Yep.
And
You know,
yeah, so
like,
this
so
is
there's like,
Burnham
yeah.
on
You
that
know, Father, you were
statue.
saying it doesn't look like any place, but like with this AR wall, you could do clever stuff. Like only the foreground might be there. You know, like who knows? Like so.
Yeah, I mean some of that is practical, that like the
Yeah.
trees and stuff and
Yeah. Yeah.
the statue, but
This looks like a cute moment there. This is interesting. Whose fingers are those?
I was thinking maybe. Well, I don't know. At first, I was thinking Stamets, but now I think it might be Laok because it looks like
Oh yeah, there's
inhumanly pale. I was thinking Anthony Rapp. He literally calls himself Albino Kid on Twitter.
right.
But it
It's
must be
true.
Laok. It looks like it might be in like this room that we see him and
Oh
Mole
yeah.
in fighting people. So I think maybe they go to like the marketplace area. Maybe that's where like they were like riding those bikes too. But I think maybe they go here to get this puzzle box thing. I think that might be like a clue on where they need to go to find the next piece in the puzzle.
Yeah.
So, at least with like a story like this, it sounds like they're going to be doing like a lot of traveling to like various different locations. So, and it makes sense. Okay, we have like the Spore Drive ship that could instantly jump to anywhere in the galaxy. So, yeah, why not use it as your treasure hunting vehicle? So, uh, and then the final shot they have Burnham saying, "Wow, never," or no, she says, "Whoa, never a dull moment." When she's riding on top of, I don't know if this is the Discovery or like another ship, but they said this is a starship at warp, and Michael Burnham on top of it. So
Yeah. I love that. It looks insane.
yeah, so they're definitely going to be trying to do like the big spectacle. That's definitely going to be front and center in Discovery season 5.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and Linda's also calling it Disco Does Indiana Jones. Yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate way of describing it.
Not a bad thing to do. Not a bad idea for disco. I think it's kind of cool.
Dan Kiefer's talking about I really hope they give them personal shields this season because that's driving me nuts. You mean like Dan, do you mean like shields that pop out of like their Tricom badge that like protects them while they're shooting phasers in combat situations? Because that always seemed kind of obvious to me, so I wonder if that's what you're thinking of.
It'd be interesting from the perspective of like we don't really know the full fate of the Borg yet, but why wouldn't they have
Mm.
adapted that kind of technology already by now? You know, like that it makes sense that like you would have like personal shields. That's a good point.
Okay, so that is what Dan's talking about. Yeah.
Right on.
But I don't know. You have anything else to say about the Discovery stuff? Did I forget anything? Is there anything else mentioned at the panel?
No, I think you got everything. I think it's going to be very exciting to see Disco 5. I think that's a lot more than I expected to get. Actually, this was like a good proper teaser, so I was very pleased that they have this much like finished effects. Well, they finished looking at least, and like that much. And it looks gorgeous. Like every season, I feel like these shows look better and better, and this looks like it's going to be the most pretty disco has looked as well.
Yeah, I mean the show always has like a really high polished look to it. I've
Yeah.
been pretty impressed with the look of Discovery every year, but I wonder if this team, they're used to making like these longer seasons. They've done, what was it, 15, 14, 13, 13 episode seasons 1 through 4. This is the first time I've only had like a 10 episode season, so I wonder if they're like oh wow, we're doing a lot less work here, so look, we're like ahead of schedule on everything. I know like season 4, the production on like season 4 lasted way longer than anyone originally intended. Part of that was like shutdowns because of COVID and stuff like
Right.
that. And that just made everything take longer and cost more, and this is like a big headache. So that might have influenced their decision to switch to a 10 episode season. Also, like they're not getting like the big bucks from Netflix. Netflix paid for a lot of the production cost on the first 3 seasons. So I think that might also be like a decision on why they're going to shorter seasons. But that was I like season 4 a lot. My biggest criticism of season 4 is that like it felt like the story was stretched out too long. That back half of the season just kind of dragged and didn't move forward with like the pace the show normally moved at. So I think switching to a 10 episode season is probably a good idea. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed to see like they're still sticking with like the big long season long arc format, because I don't think it's particularly served Discovery great in years past. But I'm gonna get over that now, and I consider season 4 an improvement over seasons 1 through 3, and hopefully season 5 is even better than 4.
I think it's fair to say Discovery's already moved to a pretty good, or it's starting to move to this like episodic season story type arc type thing. Like they're doing a lot better in that sense for me, anyways. Uh, at least last season. So I'm hopeful that this season will also have like these like, yes, there will be an overarching story. Yes, there will be like this kind of like cliffhangery thing, but like there will be a lot more like new things every episode as well to keep
Right.
like to keep us feeling like the story is like not just like focused on one thing in a sense. I don't
Yeah,
know.
honestly, like kind of like what they were going for in season 2 a little bit, where they were dealing with like the mystery of like the red bursts, and it's like okay, we're gonna
Right.
go to like a different planet. Like the original way it was explained was like, okay, like every episode we're gonna go to like another planet where there's another red burst, and it kind of started off like that, and then they kind of went off the rails a little bit towards the end of season 2. But yeah, I think if they're going to do something like that with like, okay, for our next clue, we have to go here to this world, and it's an adventure for this week here, and then next week we'll be on to something else, something like that. I think would work very well on Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
Disco Jones and the Last Mystery Box, PJ says. So, but if that's all we got for Discovery, let's move on to Star Trek
Prodigy.
Prodigy. So
Woo!
I was so happy to see the Prodigy cast. I mean, not all of them, but Kate Mulgrew, Brett Gray, and making her first, I think, Star Trek appearance ever was help me with her name, Jamila
Jamila
Jamila Jamil.
Jamil. Yep,
Okay,
Jamila Jamil.
it's kind of hard. You kind of sound like you're stuttering when you say like Jamila Jamil. It's like what was in Game of Thrones? It was Lancel Lannister.
Oh,
Remember
right. That's right.
when King Robert was like, "Who the hell named you?" Some Lannister with a stutter. But yeah, so Jamila Jamil, lovely person, gorgeous, beautiful actor.
She
People
cracked me
probably
up at
know her
this.
from The Good
Uh,
Place.
yeah, and oh, I don't watch The Good Place, but I heard it's really good, and I
Okay.
gotta watch it. But she cracked me up in this
Yes.
panel.
When she said that, oh yes, these episodes are going to be so good. They're going to like. She's kind of struggling for something to say, and she's just like, "Blow your fucking balls off."
And I
This is
love
exactly what I'm
they...
sure everyone at Nickelodeon wanted these actors to be saying to promote
And
this new show, right?
I love the Hagemans were very quick, or someone was very quick to say.
It was Horowitz, the moderator.
He was like very quick to say, "Well, it's a family show after all," or
Yeah.
something funny. It was great.
Yeah, but no, I love seeing her there. I mean, I just love seeing her in general because she's one of the most attractive people on Earth. But I also, she seems like a really cool actor and a cool person. And she was saying like, oh yeah, like I watched Star Trek with my brothers growing up. I love being part of it. So I'm glad to see her, included in the Star Trek family. I want to see you at a convention, Jamila Jamil. So I hope that you show up at Vegas or Seattle or somewhere soon, because I'd love to see you in person. But
I hope so too. I love that she's in the Star Trek universe. She has a really cool podcast too, apparently. She's a very cool
oh
person.
yeah, I've heard about that. We have a synopsis for Prodigy season 1B. These next 10 episodes of the show that I will read off. In the remaining Star Trek Prodigy season 1 episodes, as the hopeful crew makes their way towards Starfleet, their dreams are threatened when they discover the USS Protostar harbors a weapon designed to tear the United Federation of Planets apart. To make matters worse, the USS Dauntless is on a manhunt for the Protostar, as the real Vice Admiral Janeway is eager to uncover what happened to her missing former First Officer Chakotay. With these two ships on a collision course and destruction on the horizon, the fate of the Alpha Quadrant hangs in the balance. So I like that. I'm very excited by something Aaron Waltke, the writer on the show, who wasn't on the panel, but something that he had said about these next batch of episodes is that he really was fascinated by the idea of having an antagonist who's not a bad guy. Having the real Admiral Janeway out there looking for them. You're gonna have to have your kids, stay like several steps ahead of her, and she's always gonna be like right behind them. And you're gonna have to, constantly be trying to like outfox this opponent who's not actually like a bad person or doing anything bad. She doesn't know like, oh, if I contact that ship, then my ship is fucked. Like, so I thought that was cool. He was comparing it to the movie The Fugitive, with Tommy Lee Jones is always trying to capture Harrison Ford, but Tommy Lee Jones is thinking, well, this guy is a murderer, and he's actually, he's going after the wrong dude, but he doesn't know. So you get like that interesting conflict there, and so it'll be something similar. Janeway's like, oh my god, Chakotay disappeared, and these thieves are running around on his ship. Did they kill him? What did they do? Where is Chakotay? I gotta capture these little bastards and find out. So totally. Yeah, I love that.
I love that she goes
saying antagonist but not villain. Yeah, that's a perfect way of describing it.
What did she say? Like, how? Like, who are these kids? I love that line. That was really funny. It was great. But I agree. I'm very excited. I think it's worth the wait, based on what I saw in this little, like what would you call? Oh my gosh,
it was a trailer. It was a trailer.
Yeah, I guess it's a trailer for the next part of the season. But it was longer than a trailer. I felt like it was longer than a trailer. Like, it gave us a lot. But anyways, yeah, it wasn't a scene for sure. It was like a teaser or trailer.
It was a trailer.
Yeah, trailer, full trailer. Look at the L cars on the Dauntless. I love that. And look at Jellicoe. Oh yeah,
so we got the announcement. We got the announcement that Ronnie Cox will be returning to reprise Jellicoe. Good. Now an Admiral Jellicoe. An Admiral who outranks Janeway. So he's got 4 pips. I think Janeway only has 3.
So that's another layer, by the way. He's gonna antagonize Janeway.
He's Janeway's boss.
Yeah, so it's gonna be very interesting.
I like Jellicoe though. He was a good captain.
I really like Jellicoe, not the kind of captain I'd want to serve under, but I respect him, and he's not like a bad guy. I mean, like, I definitely agree that like maybe his style of command's a little traditional and perhaps a little too too rigid, but but I really like him.
Get it done.
Get it done. Get it.
He's got to say that.
He's got to say.
Hageman Brothers.
Say. Get it done, Hageman Brothers.
I'm gonna drive to y'all's house and kick y'all's door down if he doesn't say get it done.
New Jellicoe memes incoming. I bet. I don't know if you follow them on Twitter, but the Jellicoe humor account on Twitter is probably gonna have a field day with this stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but one of my favorite announcements of the whole day was knowing that we would get Jellicoe back.
Yeah, it's
You know,
pretty
I was
rad.
always thinking like, oh yeah, I bet Jellicoe eventually shows up on lower decks, and I kept thinking like Moriarty would show up there, but I guess like the reason why they haven't shown up there is these other shows wanted to use them. So maybe that's a clue. Like, if who hasn't shown up on lower decks, they're probably going to pop up in one of these other shows. They did reference Jellicoe though, the first episode of season 3, but the Federation News Network. Remember, it was like Admiral Jellicoe has banned the Zebulon sisters from performing on ships that are in active duty. So we know that Jellicoe became an admiral in canon from lower decks.
Yeah, and that's rad actually, because you know they all talk to each other now, so that's kind of a cool little thing. That's very cool, very very cool.
Yeah, let's talk about this trailer. You know, we start off with Dal giving a captain's log, talking about they've it's been weeks since they left Tars Lamora, but they still have this dream of finding a place where they belong, and you know, they're hoping that finally comes true. There's a shot of Tars Lamora where we actually see the Dauntless, the bottom right of the screen. The Dauntless is there, so
so they're investigating. That's cool.
So they must be like, you know, on the heels of the Protostar kids.
Does that mean that Janeway will find the
Diviner?
The Diviner in his like crazy state?
That's what I think will happen, and I don't know if they'll leave him there, or maybe they take him prisoner, or what.
Interesting, very interesting. That ending of this trailer was chilling, by the way, but we'll get to that part. Like, I like that.
But speaking of the Diviner, I saw, what's the name of the Australian actor who plays the Diviner?
Oh, I can't remember his name, except I keep thinking
John Noble.
John
right?
Noble, thank you. Yes, yeah. I keep thinking of Denethor from the other from Lord of the Rings. But what were you gonna say?
I saw him at Vegas back in August.
That's right.
And he said that we're gonna get to explore more of the Diviner's backstory in like these coming episodes, and you know, kind of see things more from his point of view, and you might be more sympathetic to him after you see that. So I thought that was interesting. He was also on the flight back to Austin with me. I assume he had like a connection at the airport. When I came back from Vegas to Austin, he was on the flight with me, and I also
on the same shuttle as the Diviner.
Yeah, and I also had COVID that day. I found out when I got home and tested. So perhaps John Noble gave me COVID, or maybe I gave it to him. We don't know.
Oh gosh, I hope not.
But this opening shot, you see the Protostar, like the icy planet. The clip that they showed us at Star Trek Day, it looked like Janeway and company were wearing like Starfleet issued coats on the Dauntless, and then the Protostar kids have like their winter gear on. So whenever they get to this planet, I guess Janeway will come close to capturing them.
Totally interesting. Yeah, I like that. I like that outfit too, like that snow gear that they were wearing and stuff like that. Look at everyone. It's so cool to get back to these guys.
Rock Talk, you know, is talking about we want to join Starfleet at some point. They encounter a Starfleet officer. He looks like a Denobulan, like Phlox.
I think that's what folks are saying, that he is a Denobulan.
I think he might be like a chief, though. He might be a non-com, because he's got like a.
Is that
looks like
how
a
we're saying
Voyager.
it?
It kind of looks like non-com. A non-commissioned officer. They said that on Deep Space Nine.
Oh, they did? Non-com? Okay, got it.
Yeah, that was said in Star Trek in like 1994.
But it does look like what the chief wears, right? Like his pip is like the same, right?
No, it's different from the Chiefs. It almost looks like what the Maquis officers wore on Voyager.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But it looks like then it looks like next to it has like the standard Starfleet rank pips. So it's very interesting.
Oh yeah, good. Thanks for zooming in there. Do you think the Janeway somehow incorporated, like, I don't know, that's interesting. What does that mean? Because this
doesn't mean anything. I have no idea what they're doing here with this dude's rank. It's crazy.
The thing that they were doing in Voyager was to keep, like, why was that? What was the reason? I can't remember. Like, is it so that you knew who the Maquis were, or why is it because since they weren't like officially Starfleet,
because they weren't Starfleet, but
they had to get something, like, okay.
Well, yeah, they merged them into the Voyager rank structure, so they gave them, ranks. They could still have, B'Elanna was a lieutenant. She could still give Harry Kelman order, even though he was a Starfleet ensign. She was, Maquis, but they gave everyone a rank on the ship.
But they never like got officially like can't a captain give a field commission like how Admiral Picard gave a field commission to Seven? Like, isn't that something she could
Maybe
have
if they had
done?
an admiral there, they could have done that.
I guess so. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's that only is that maybe that's something only reserved for an admiral. I figured a captain could
I
do it
mean,
too.
Picard made Wesley an acting ensign,
That's
but
true,
that
but it was
always seemed
acting ensign.
right,
He
right.
made he gave Seven a full commandership. It
But
looks
he was
like,
an
right?
admiral when he did that.
Right, it's true. So yeah,
But yeah, this dude, he's just like, oh, so what? Did someone just give you kids a starship? And Pog's like, oh no, we actually stole it. And then you have Dal be like, shut up, like don't tell him. I have no idea who this dude is that they're talking to. I like that they made a Denobulan.
it makes me wonder if the encounter with this dude is how they discover that Protostar is carrying this virus
The Trojan
because
horse.
yeah, this Trojan horse virus because maybe everything's all good and wonderful, but then they board the Protostar for whatever reason and something goes wrong on the station or wherever they're at. Looks like a station to me that they've encountered. Maybe it's like a deep space outpost of some kind, or like a and the gateway to the Delta Quadrant type of thing. Who knows. So it is an interesting this is interesting that they're actually on a station talking to another Starfleet person, considering that we know that the protostar is dangerous somehow to Starfleet technology.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe they take out this guy's outpost or something. That's how they figure out, oh yeah, our ship is cursed. We
Right,
have to stay away from Starfleet.
because Gwyn doesn't remember at this point, so she couldn't warn them, and so maybe they discover it the hard way, which would be interesting.
Yeah, we don't know when she gets her memory back. We know it like at some point because they later show that, but they basically accept at some point. They're like, oh, so we're not going to join Starfleet. Pog says that, but then Dal says, well, as long as we have the Protostar, we can still help others. So I guess
Right.
they're going to try to like be Starfleet without being in Starfleet because they can't actually contact a Starfleet ship.
Yeah.
That's what it seems. But yeah, while they're doing that, they're gonna have the real Janeway hot on their ass.
Look at that. This is so cool to see this era of Starfleet, and look at the different. I like the different uniform variants that we're seeing here and stuff like that. It's very exciting. The Andorian character looks really cool. I like them, and there's
Oh yeah, and
uh,
he's gonna be voiced by what's his name, who plays Hamilton. He plays Thomas Jefferson and Lafayette in Hamilton. I can't
oh,
remember
that's
his
right.
name.
I can't remember his name either, but
But the
yeah,
Telluride is gonna be Jason Alexander,
that's right.
and then the Trill is
Jamila Jamil.
Jamila Jamil. You know,
Don in the audience is asking how long do Denobulans live? I believe it's like 300 plus
it's
years.
never been said on screen, but I don't think it's 300 plus years. I
Oh, really? It's never been said? Where did I get that in my head from? It's weird.
have
I
no
made it up.
idea.
Starfleet Boy made that up. Moriarty Boy makes stuff up. Starfleet Boy doesn't, but Boy does.
Well, I agree with Dan on saying I hope those antennae move. No excuse for it this time. Yeah, in animation, they should definitely be moving. I wish that we had more movement in Strange New Worlds with
Hey, we
Emmer.
saw that they could move. Maybe some
One time.
I think some Andorians are like not antenna talkers, and other Andorians are antenna talkers. Like just like humans. So
Inexcusable.
no, not at
It looked so good in Enterprise. There's no good reason to take that away from us.
It's true. It does look great, though. Actually, I agree with that. Now, Jamila Jamil's character's wearing different boots. Oh, maybe they're just coming back.
That's because she must have been down on like the snow planet.
Right. But they
Some of,
were
like, that
all
winter gear.
It feels like they were all down there at one point, but who knows? Yeah, that's interesting though.
Yeah, that's where they must have like a close encounter with Janeway and the Dauntless there, and then they're like, "Oh shit, let's get the hell out of here!" And then she's chasing them, and I love like the kind of like that cocky Janeway confidence when the hollow Janeway is like, "Oh, the real Janeway is after you. Good luck."
Yes.
But yeah, Janeway's kind of scary. Like I wouldn't want her. I wouldn't want her mad at me. I wouldn't want her coming after
I
me.
think
Like,
the word is formidable, Father. She's formidable. She's not scary because I'm not. Well, yeah,
I'd be
maybe to them.
scared.
Yeah, I'd be scared too. I'd be scared shitless. It's true.
And we see more shots of Okana along for the ride on the ship. So I don't know
So
how long
interesting. Yeah, how
he'll be
he's
on the
gonna be.
Protostar, but
Yeah.
he's there. He's there on the ice planet, and he's there when they go to the place where they meet the alien who might explain Dal's origin to him.
Yeah, it's like might know his parents and stuff. It's very cool. Look at those. Those are cool.
So that's
Oh, neat.
the winter gear. We were talking about this when we saw that clip that had Janeway in like the long coat and the black gloves, and we're like, oh, I bet that's winter gear. So looks like we were right to think that. I don't know who these people in the green shirts
if you go
are that
back
they're
to those
helping.
winter gears, they're kind of like TNG versions of that Volanti jacket that I bought. So I'm excited about that because it has a hoodie on it too. So
Oh, okay. I didn't know it had a
yeah,
hoodie.
yeah.
Who are these people? Are they a
So
familiar
how
race?
fascinating is this? Because they're doing the Vulcan sign. They're wearing makeshift Starfleet uniforms that harken back to TOS. So I'm wondering if these are a crashed colony ship or
I don't see
something.
a Vulcan. Are you talking about like the hand jive or something?
Oh,
Like I
I
don't.
thought they were doing the hand gesture. Sorry,
It
they're
looks like
just
they're just
waving.
waving, but yeah, they have
But
Starfleet deltas on their shirts, so that's
and the
interesting.
style of uniform. Look at
Oh
the
yeah,
one
like she's
the
got
women.
like the dress and the
Right, they have
boots.
black collars. It's all green though, which is interesting. So that's and there's a wreckage. There's
What if
definitely
they're
wreckage
what
there.
if they're the Iosians from a piece of the action? They're like doing like that Deep Space Nine idea that didn't actually get made into an episode, but the idea of like, what if those people just stopped impersonating
Gangsters.
Chicago gangsters and started impersonating Starfleet after they
I
met Kirk
love
and
that.
Spock?
That would be amazing. I would love that. But they have different they have some kind of coloration on their foreheads, so they
Yeah,
I don't think they are the Iosians, but
no, I don't think they are. But
that's
yeah,
funny
they
though.
definitely look like they're like imitating Starfleet or
And look,
imitating the TOS era of Starfleet.
and they're standing on. Are they standing on the protostar? There is the
Yeah,
has
I
the
assume that's
protostar
the
landed?
protostar. The
Sorry.
protostar lands all the time.
I know, I know, I know, I know. I just have to get it in there. But yeah, look, see, it's all patchworked and stitched together.
That looks like your Volante jacket too, because yeah, it
It
has
does
like
kind of
that cool
like the stitching. Yeah,
stitch
he
pattern.
he's not quite doing the Vulcan thing, but he's not quite doing a wave there. Look, his two middle fingers are
Maybe he's
connected.
trying. You know, some people really struggle to pull that off. I can do it with both hands pretty easily, but I had to practice. So
Yeah,
maybe he's trying. And Dal's like, just stop, man, just stop.
this is
You
interesting
ain't
though.
doing it.
Like,
Yeah, Jankum Pog's like, hey, everyone, shoot your phasers at this. No idea what they're shooting at, but I assume that they're helping these people because while the trailer shows this footage, they're talking about like, oh, so we're not going to be able to join Starfleet, but in the meantime, we can still help others as long as we have this ship. So
it's an interesting idea. It's very compelling what's going on in this place. Like,
yeah,
I'm very curious about this.
what do you think of these skydivers? I don't know. Are they like is Janeway send like this tactical team down or something?
I'm
Or
really digging, and maybe Janeway likes to do this shit too. I kind of like that Janeway wants to be an action star. Like to me, that's kind of awesome. Like that she's like doing these missions and stuff like that. She's not an admiral. She's not comfortable sitting behind the admiral's desk. It looks like she's been like. She's also on this hunt for Chakotay, of
I think
course.
she
You
is
know.
comfortable behind the admiral's desk.
Really, you think
I
so?
think after spending 7 years in the Delta Quadrant, it made sense that yeah, I just want to work on Earth and just like sit at a
No.
desk, and that's why they made her an admiral in Star Trek Nemesis. It's like okay, that actually makes a ton of sense. I think she doesn't want to be out here on the Dauntless. She's only doing it to find Chakotay,
Right,
and
right,
so I
right.
think
I
that's
think
gonna
she has fun. Janeway grabbed those phasers and stuff. Like she was like,
she doesn't look like she's having fun to me in this next batch of I keep
well,
wanting to call it a
I
season, but this next
admittedly
half of a
you
season.
know Janeway better than I do. I haven't finished Star Trek Voyager, so I can't really talk. But my impression of Janeway is that she might be having fun.
I think she's determined, but I think she's angry. I think she's pissed. She's like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
she's also that. You
I
can have all those
busted my
things.
ass for 7 years to get my crew home, and now one of my crew is in danger. Like, oh hell no, I'm gonna come put a stop to you little bastards and save Jacote. I think that's her
Yeah, but
perspective.
she's a human. She can have fun while she's serious too. We all do it, like it can happen, Fathery. She ain't no Vulcan. She ain't no Vulcan serious all the
I
time
think that would
person,
that kind of undercut the drama to like show her like having fun
No.
while trying to save
Oh,
Chakotay.
look, we get a better shot of their community that they're in. So there's like a shield or like a bubble covering like a whole town. That's crazy. Like
Yeah,
a
I think that might
maybe.
actually be a different location than where these skydivers are, because I think the
Yeah, no, that's
skydivers
true.
there's
That's going no, the location that you saw there is going back to the green guys, the green shirts.
right.
That's
So I
what they
think
call them.
there's later in the trailer we see what looks like a an orbital lift, what they called it on lower decks, or like a space elevator, and there's like a tall tower.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I think this is related to that. I think the green shirts in their city is actually a different planet.
To Dan in the audience, spoil away. It's been like more than 20 years since Voyager ended, and I have no excuse to have not seen it when it aired. So, so spoil away. But carry on, Father.
Well, there's a conversation between Zero and Gwen with Zero saying like, until we restore your memory, I'm gonna be doing everything I can to help you out and get your memories restored. So then later on, Trek on the Tube is here. Trek on the Tube, would you like to join us? Let me know if you want to join us. But
That's if he's watched anything. He takes like 10 years to watch
oh,
Star
no.
Trek. Like he's so. I think he should change his name from Trek on the Tube to Trek on the Newspaper.
Trek on the newspaper because he's that slow. It's like getting the newspaper.
Trek on
Like,
the adaptation novel. That's what he should change his name to.
oh,
Get on here, Trek on the Tube if you can. See, look, what did I tell you?
no, yeah.
I've only seen the Picard trailer. What else did I miss? See, I told you. He's so behind.
Well,
You don't deserve your title
go back to
anymore.
like the previous last hour we've been streaming.
Yeah, man.
We're on
For
to talk about
crying
the
in the
Picard
night.
trailer though. We had to do Discovery
Yeah.
first, and now we're working on Prodigy. But we're about to talk about Picard, which I feel is like a lot of people are eager to hear us talk about. But see, here's like the space elevator thing. So I think that's what the
Oh, I see
skydivers
it. Yeah,
are jumping
yeah.
off of this earlier shot.
Trek on the carrier pigeon. That's exactly it right
Trek on the carrier
there.
pigeon, or like a raven from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Trek on the Raven.
Yeah, that's definitely a space elevator or orbital lift, depending on if you're Mariner or Ransom and how
Right.
you prefer to say it. Yeah, this
Okana.
alien, this creature, not,
Cool design for an alien. I like them a lot.
is this being going to tell Al the secrets of his origin?
100%.
I
Give
think
him
I
a
think we'll
clue
get
at least.
a piece of it, but not the full story.
Yeah.
Because when Dal's like, "Oh, you can tell me where I came from," and then the alien is like, "Not where, but who."
But who?
So
Yeah, who you
who you
came
came
from?
from? So
Your
maybe like
that can mean your people. Your
yeah, or your parents, or
Yep.
who knows. But we see some Borg action. They actually encounter a cube. They go on board, and it kind of looks like more like the Borg interior from Picard,
That's
more
correct. It
than
could
like
it.
TNG or
Ooh.
Voyager.
Yeah,
Which
it's true.
kind of makes sense, like the Borg are always adapting, so they should change. They should upgrade their technology from time to time. But yeah, just the thought of like these kids going up against like Borg drones, that kind of scares the shit out of me. As cool as they look on the Protostar, like I do not trust them to defeat the collective.
Oh, look at that. Go back. What is going on there?
There's like ice creatures throwing ice spears.
Oh, neat.
That
That's neat.
is totally Game of
No,
Thrones,
that's
Game of
underwater,
Thrones
Father.
inspired.
I think
No, I
that's
think
underwater.
they're ice people.
No, they
It's
might
on
be.
it's on the snowy planet.
Go look though. Go back to. Wait, go back.
Watch the trailer and like look at it in motion.
But is
It's
that kelp and is that like a tail on one of them? Like they look like mer people.
I
Look,
mean,
they have
maybe I
tails.
don't. When I was
See,
watching
they
it,
have tails.
it looked like on the ice planet. But I could be wrong. But I don't know. That was my impression when I saw it in motion. Or maybe they are underwater. Maybe here like they took like they got their vehicle replicator to make an aqua shuttle like the animated series.
It'd be neat if they're not underwater, but under like some kind of liquid other thing. You know how like there's liquid methane, there's liquid this, there's liquid that. Like
Yeah.
it'd be neat if they're not under quote unquote water, but they are definitely. It looks like in some kind of ocean of liquid.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Honestly, I think that would be cooler than if it's ice. So I hope that you're right.
I dig it.
Yeah, because they're not wearing the winter gear in this vehicle. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe this is it is aquatic after all.
They give me aquatic Skeletor vibes. It's cool. I don't know, it's like mermaid skeletons. It's interesting.
These Borg look really scary. Like the way that like their eyes are all covered.
Yeah.
They I
Look
do
at
not want to see
oh
like
whoa! I didn't pause this sequence, but that one Borg on the left has a really cool aperture.
yeah, it looks like
on
something
there.
out of a Guillermo del Toro movie, right?
Yeah, whoa!
Like
They're
that,
really
they
taking.
look freaky. They look freaky.
This is a nice update to the Borg. I'm digging these Borg a lot. Wow, I hadn't seen that. This
Isn't
is
it
wild.
scary though? To
Yeah, it
think
is
about,
scary.
Like these
I
cute kids going up
I
against like these scary Borg drones.
I gotta say, I guess he's too young, but I tried to introduce my godson to this and he got so scared. So I'm gonna wait a couple more years. He's only 5, so I'm gonna wait a few more years and try it again.
You get scared of Prodigy?
Yeah, he got scared of the diviner.
Oh.
It was too much for him to handle on the first episode. He was actually like, can we not watch this? I was like, why? He's like, it's scary. I'm like, okay, fine. But that being said, I was delighted because up until then he was super into it. So I think he needs a few more years of maturing before he can watch it. Or I didn't do a good job as his guide.
But they leap across space and there's like that explosion and you see Murph kind of enjoying himself. So Murph being Murph. But yeah.
And I guess Murph will be Murph for a while, but at some point he's going to start transforming or something.
Unless maybe we don't see what he actually morphs into. So maybe he like goes into like a cocoon or something, but he comes out and like he still looks the same, and it's all just like a big tease. Like, oh, he's gonna look different. Oh, wait, just kidding. By the way, Murph plushie is finally available. You know, we all bitched and complained about like not having Murph plushies, but to be fair, it only took them a year after the show premiered.
Wait,
that's not too
is
bad.
Murph plushie available for sale?
Well, it was available at New York Comic Con if you were there
as a gift, but I don't know if
you could buy them on eBay now.
Yeah, but like officially, like I want to know if it's on StarTrek.com. That's where I want to go.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's going to be. I think it's a hit. I feel like that's I'm going to their shop right now, actually.
Well, while you're doing that, I don't think it's going to be there yet, but.
No, it's not, but there's some really cool Uhura t-shirts. What? I shouldn't be doing this on the live. Sorry, I'll stop. Whoa.
But yeah, what was the final piece of the trailer? You remember like that final exchange of dialogue between Zero and Gwen?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like how you said Zero as Zero. Is that how you say Zero? I like that. Zero's
Zero?
Yeah, Zero's cooler than Zero. I like that. Zero. I'm Zero.
Zero.
But... Anyways, Prodigy looks hecka cool for season 1B.
Like the thing I was trying to set you up for, but like the whole thing of like, oh, I remember everything now.
Yeah, that's gonna be big.
So
yeah.
Does that unlock like additional memories? Like, do we know more about like the Diviner's plan now? Is like there like additional secrets being revealed?
It's gonna be big. I have a good feeling about it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely excited for Prodigy. I'm glad it's only a few weeks before we get to catch up.
Yo, Trek Central's again. In the chat. What is that? You, cool. TJ? Very cool. Check us out on Trek Central too. Father and I host a fun Sunday stream.
Oh yeah, yeah. There might be some cool stuff tomorrow on Trek Central.
Yeah, totally. So yeah.
But you should always check us out every Sunday.
Every Sunday. These guys. And Captain right. Jack. Oh, it's the boss man. What? Hey, boss man. Dropping all those tweets today. I was loving your Twitter.
I'll have to go and check those. I didn't see what they were. I just saw your reaction to enjoying them.
Here is an amazing picture. Look at these guys.
So the main course, all this other stuff is just like appetizers. We're ready to talk about the feature presentation. But yeah, Star Trek Picard season 3, highly anticipated. This is actually a picture that Terry Metalis, our boy Terry.
Can I just
Hey,
say he's like the
this
luckiest person on the planet? Look at this.
this is why people need to check out Trek Central on
It's true.
Sundays when we do our live stream there, because Terry watches, and we always have cool interactions with him. And so
Very cool interactions, yeah.
if it's good enough for Terry, it's good enough for you. So
And by the way, Terry Metalis has been dropping like really interesting hints like all along these tweets that I
yeah.
didn't think meant like anything. Now I'm like Terry Metalis.
I mean,
like,
he's been dying for months to talk about the show. He's been doing interviews all over the place. Various different podcasts and sites, and yeah, I'm very very eager to have him talk about his work. As we're actually gonna be seeing some of it soon. Now, with this trailer, it's opened up like a whole new uh part of the show that he's allowed to talk about now. And then
yeah,
when the episodes start airing, it's going to be it's such a treat when we have like these people working on Star Trek that understand the internet fandom and are able to connect and participate there. Not only with Terry, but also I see it with Mike McMahon. I see it with Aaron Walkey on Prodigy. So
yep.
thank you all of y'all that we really appreciate when you take the time to interact with us and have this discourse. And I think it's good for the fandom. I think it's good for the people working on the shows. So yeah, thank you so much, Terry. If you're out there checking this out now, I don't know, you might be. So we definitely appreciate you. And your work looks really freaking cool. So we're dying to see it.
Can you zoom into everyone's face? I want to see it.
No. In fact, we're not gonna look at that anymore.
Okay, damn.
We can look at them like on stage at the actual convention though. It was fun seeing like everyone like hug Alex Kurtzman and hug Rod Roddenberry.
Yeah.
Like they all knew Rod like when his dad was alive and he was like a little kid and stuff. So that was fun to see.
That really made this panel extra special for me, was just like some of that like that conversation that was going on. And Rod Roddenberry's like such a great torchbearer for the Roddenberry estate. I think he's wonderful. I think he represents like, I think he's carrying forward the best of Gene's vision / legacy into this modern era of Trek. And I love that he's a part of it. I mean, he's sitting up there on the Star Trek panel. That's a big deal, with all these folks. And he sat through all of them, right? He was on the panel for each, he was on each of these panels. So,
oh, I love that he's showing his kid Prodigy and that his kid got mad and was like, you mean I have to wait to see what happens next? Like, why can't you do something about that, Dad? So hopefully they're correcting that and they're like giving his kid some advanced screeners of the next episodes. But what's cool about seeing them all on stage like this, Starfleet boys? I saw this group on stage in person at a convention myself back in 2012. It was for then I guess it would have been the 25th anniversary. Yeah, the 25th anniversary of Star Trek: The Next Generation. They were at a convention here in Austin at Wizard World, which Wizard World did terrible conventions, but it was cool to see the entire TNG group there. I'd actually say it's a little cooler than this because they had Will Wheaton there too. So it was like all of like the Big Seven and Wesley. But during that convention, someone asked like, hey, it's so cool to see everyone here for the big 25th anniversary of The Next Generation. Is it possible that we'll ever see all of you like on screen? Maybe even for like the 25th anniversary, y'all would like do something together as those characters again. And every one of those actors is like, no, like it's done, it's over. Nemesis was the end. Like they make like these new Star Trek movies now with Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto. Like we're done. Like it's not going to happen. And I was hearing that thinking like, yeah, that's not going to happen. But look, here we are now with getting this third season of Star Trek Picard that promises to be the big send-off for these characters. So, it's amazing how in a decade, how much things can change. Because I was convinced then in 2012, there is no way that we were ever going to get more TNG. And the actors seem to think the exact same thing. I was thinking the same thing. And then, 10 years later, it's like, how could this not have happened? It seems like inevitable. Of course, this was going to happen, right?
have always held hope, but I admit that like I believed all that like when they said it's not gonna happen, and that just shows like where they were at like in their minds. But I always love, some folks are jaded and say like money talks and all that, and sure, like it does or whatever, but I always kind of held out hope that this would happen. And Sean Connery said never, and then you have never say never again. So there's a part of me that always, for Bond. So there's always a part of me that thinks like, oh, anything can happen. I think that this was the right thing to happen. Like, the way that Alex Kurtzman described it, and also the rest of them, just the way the journey came together, like it does make sense. I do buy it. I believe they wanted to earn this, and Star Trek Picard earned it. Like I feel like season 1 and season 2, like how much I'm into Star Trek Picard, and so I feel like while I'm definitely like you know I'm definitely like of course attached to those characters like Rios and Elnor and stuff like that, and I understand they're not going to be in it. Like this fills me with way more joy just to see these guys come back together, and the fact that this all came together this way like is like exactly what I need, just like personally as a Star Trek fan. There's just like a special thing that's happening right now. They're so wonderful. Like to me, I feel like I think Marina Sirtis was saying something about this on this panel about like how Gene Roddenberry, they were the children of Gene Roddenberry. It's a little weird to say those kinds of things.
His last children.
Yeah,
We
his
were
last children. But she's not wrong. Like
that was
like
like the last thing that he did was Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, he casted these guys. Like he was very involved. So there is something of Gene's legacy here, which is very special. And the fact that they are all such good friends, and like this cast, like to me, are role models in on screen and off the screen and in universe and out of the universe. Like they are just such a great cast, and they deserve every accolade and every opportunity to show off their wonderful relationship that they can get. So I'm glad they're coming back.
Well, we have a new official synopsis for Picard season 3 that I will now share with all of y'all.
Excellent.
Picard features Patrick Stewart reprising his iconic role as Jean-Luc Picard, which he played for 7 seasons on Star Trek: The Next Generation, and follows the iconic character into the next chapter of his life. LeVar Burton, Michael Dorn, Jonathan Frakes, Gates McFadden, Marina Sirtis, Brent Spiner, Jerry Ryan, and Michelle Hurd star alongside Patrick Stewart in the 3rd and final season of the hit Paramount Plus original series. So that tells us absolutely nothing about the story other than that's the last season and who the cast is. But they did go on to, Terry had a lot to say, and a lot of it was about our new villain that they gave us. Vadik, is that how they said it? Vadik is her name.
I think it's Vadik or something like that. Yeah, but that's Amanda Plummer. Christopher Plummer's freaking daughter. So talk about legacy here, and talk about like a nice
symmetry with Star Trek
symmetry
6.
And nodding.
Like Star Trek 6 was the send off of like POS.
Yes, so. And Chang was a new creation that we'd never seen before. I'm trying to figure out like so the species and all that good stuff, and I'm sure Captain Jack is on the hunt for all this stuff.
Boat Wreck in our live is pointing out a Honey Bunny.
It is Honey Bunny, if you guys don't know.
Who was it? Honey Bunny and Pumpkin, right?
No, I love the movie Pumpkin, but it's Quentin Tarantino.
No, what was the name of
Oh yeah, Pumpkin. Sorry, yeah. Honey Bunny. Was it Pumpkin?
I don't know. I was asking. I don't know.
I don't remember.
But Honey Bunny's boyfriend, what was his name?
Yeah, what was his name? Come on, PJ.
But anyways, we have like a Bonnie and Clyde duo in Star Trek Discovery season 5. But Amanda Plummer was kind of the Bonnie and Clyde type character in Pulp Fiction. So
what an iconic role that was, by the way, to open a movie that way, and just like no one forgets Honey Bunny. So
yeah, I want her to like be that character in Picard season 3. I wish they were going up against Honey Bunny instead
she's got some pipes. You hear her screaming fire, and like like very interesting. Can like look at her hand. Is that the same pattern? That like what is going on her glove? Why does she look like a bow, or like a like bowmen or bow people? like
I
people
don't
who
know.
shoot
She has like these weird red leather gloves that
gloves.
kind of
It's
make it look like
interesting,
she has
yeah.
like blood on her hands. So I think that was
Oh,
like the
interesting.
thematic thinking there. But yeah, I have no idea like who her crew is. These aliens she's with. They described her as the mysterious alien captain of the Shriek, a warship that has set its sights on Jean-Luc Picard and his old crewmates from his days on the Enterprise. So again, like I was saying, like
Wait, can you
Picard
repeat
season
that
three.
again? Sorry,
Uh,
Starfleet Boy's slow. I was trying to read Trek on the Tube's weird comments, but go on. Sorry.
the mysterious alien captain of the Shriek, or maybe it's the Shrike. I don't think it's the Shriek. I don't know. A warship that has set its
Such a
sights
cool
on
name.
Jean-Luc Picard and his old crewmates from his days on the Enterprise. So I think there's a couple things that we can
Uh,
figure out from that. I think, given everything we know about like Picard season 3, I think she must have some. She has some connection to something that happened somewhere in the next generation, or
yeah.
like there's a reason why she's like vindictive and going after these people, right?
Who did Jean-Luc and crew kill?
Well, I'm sure over the 7 seasons they killed several people, but um, I said this earlier. I'm just gonna say it again because I feel like some people are gonna need to process this and accept it. But yeah, get ready for Star Trek season 3 to be pretty action packed. It's going to be a bit of a action adventure type Star Trek. It's probably going to skew closer to like a Kelvin movie than a typical like Next Generation episode. So just get ready for that
Who's
now.
waiting
I'm
for it
warning
to be
y'all.
a Next Generation episode?
I don't. I just know like some
Like,
people are gonna probably not enjoy that it's gonna be very action adventure heavy and
oh,
not like more like cerebral, like a. I think a lot of people would agree. Like that's kind of like the strength of Star Trek is like the slower pace,
I
the
think it's gonna
talkier
give
stuff.
us both.
Um,
It's gonna give us both. This
but
is
yeah,
something we've
it's
never had. Is like this kind of like drama. I feel like from the past. Like this is a weird thing. It's like a weird thing. It's gonna have a lot. It's anyways. I'm not worried.
Truck on the Tube saying I'd say closer to Nemesis. And yeah, like I don't know if you were here earlier, Sean, but I said like I think they're trying to do like good Nemesis. Nemesis was meant to be like this action
Goodness.
packed send off for the next generation. Like thinking okay, this might be
It
like the
wasn't
last.
meant to be a send off. They thought they were gonna make more
They
movies. Come
they thought
on.
they would have the option open to make sequels, but
Yeah, yeah.
they thought that was going to be the last TNG movie.
Mm,
John Logan actually prepared a sequel that he pitched, which would have been more of a TNG DS9 Voyager crossover movie. But yeah, they always thought like Nemesis could be like the final Next Generation movie, so they wanted it to feel like an ending. I think they dropped the. I don't even hate Nemesis, but I think like that movie did have like some shortcomings. But yeah, I think this is basically gonna be like an attempt of like let's do like the big movie send off, but good. Terry Matalas keeps describing it as like it's the final TNG movie that he felt like he never got. And
right.
that's how he described
Which
it
we
during
never
this
did get.
panel.
Yeah,
So it's going to
exactly.
be like Terry's big 10-hour TNG movie, like the final TNG movie.
It's gonna be great.
So, but yeah, I think it'll be as good as like the good parts of Picard season 1 and 2, which I enjoyed. But yeah, I don't know what to think of our new alien baddie. I know the other two baddies that they show in the trailer. We'll talk about the trailer. We'll go all through the trailer just a
Wait,
moment.
could
But
you
yeah, I
zoom in
know.
on one of these guys' masks for a second? I just want to see if there's anything at all that like gives us an idea as to like who they are. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think there's something. I think they're going to be something new.
And let's check out her haircut. Our friend Aaron Harvey made a funny joke, but I'll let him share that joke.
Yeah, I don't know what to think. So I'm curious though. I'm eager to see more. She definitely
I feel
seems
like I need
menacing.
to watch all of Star Trek: The Next Generation now just to see if I can figure this out. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
I'm actually okay with like not knowing. Like I'm
Yeah,
ready for
yeah,
the
yeah.
show to reveal itself to me
Yeah, good
when
point.
I
Good
see it.
point.
But I just think that she must have some tie to their past.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Ben Ginium says maybe she's Soren's wife from inside the Nexus. Wouldn't that be interesting? Let's talk about the trailer. Are we back at 10 forward on Earth? Is that where we
It
open up with?
appears to be 10 forward, although there's a picture of Guinan up on the wall, but I think it is 10 forward. I think it's just like a booth because 10 forward had like food as well. So Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Oh
remember
wait,
seeing this particular corner.
look at that poster back there. That looks like a delta, and it has some ships on the
There's
left-hand
I think
corner.
it's a first contact day poster.
Oh, rad!
Yeah, but we
Look at
have a Picard just chilling, minding his own business. Some Tellarites serving him some food, and then these Starfleet officers step up and say, "Admiral." And I guess they're bringing him like the bad news because it's shortly after that we get this shot of the Titan. But
beautiful
there's
ship. Look at her. And there's some
di-
angles in this episode that she looks so amazing, like the Constitution.
there's some dialogue from Patrick Stewart saying, "I received a distress call from Beverly Crusher," and then we actually hear Gates McFadden's voice saying, "We are being hunted." Picard asks, "Who is out there?" And then Crusher replies, "I don't know." So I'm not sure who is hunting them. I guess it's Vatic or whatever her name is, but I
Yeah.
don't know why. But yeah, so we can actually see the registry number on the Titan now, and it does have an A. So it is the Titan A.
What is the registry different from the
No,
previous
it's the
Titan?
801 whatever this is. It's kind of dark, but
Is it 80108? What? That's
8010. It's either a
02
two or
maybe.
an
It's a
eight.
2 or an 8, yeah.
Yeah, but
Ooh,
that sounds like the
interesting.
Titan. They would have been in
I
the.
You know what's interesting about that? If I'm Can I give a little quick 12 Monkeys spoiler?
No.
Okay, that's a 12 Monkeys reference, I think. And if Terry Metalis is listening, maybe he can comment and let us know. But I think that's a reference to 12 Monkeys, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna ask him on Twitter. That's really neat.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen 12
Wow, I
Monkeys,
got
and
denied. You
I.
guys, I got denied. If you want to know what the reference is, tune into my Twitter.
But that's the Titan's registry number, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna
it's
I'm
the
gonna Google this since USS Titan, Star Trek. I know, like, what's the most exciting thing for people to watch on YouTube? It's someone just sitting at their computer googling. Sorry. Yes, that is NCC 80102. So
Oh,
that
okay, then
is the
it's not what I
Titan's
thought.
registry
It's not
number.
what I thought. It's not what I thought.
I know. So you're welcome. I saved you from making a total ass out of yourself. Trying to shoehorn 12 Monkeys into Star Trek.
Hey, I'm obsessed. I gotta say.
Linda Mark says no 12 Monkeys talk.
That's
Please.
because she doesn't want spoilers, not because she doesn't like it.
I don't dislike 12 Monkeys. I haven't seen it though.
I know, but you're gonna watch it. You told me you were curious.
I can't watch it.
You have to.
I can't watch anything you recommend to me.
That's right. That's right. I gotta fix that.
Because you won't watch the one movie I recommended to you.
There's an exception for that. If I recommend Star Trek to you, you'll watch it anyways.
No, because I'm already gonna watch Star Trek, so.
True, true.
But yeah, I think whatever is going on with Crusher is on like that ship from the earlier trailer. I don't think she's like on the Titan. Maybe this is like they find like the remains of a ship she was on or something. That's what's going on here. But the way it's cut, it almost makes it look like Crusher. It almost makes it look like Crusher is sending the distress call from the Titan. And I don't think that's the case because the other trailer makes it look like Riker and Picard take the Crusher, take the Crusher, take the
Crusher.
Titan into action after they got the distress call from Crusher.
That's what I think is happening for sure. Look at this. Investigating. I love this. The way this trailer was cut, by the way, is so exquisite. I love the scenes of the Titan in this nebula or whatever it is, this gaseous area.
They
and,
get
like,
attacked in this nebula. So
yeah, and they show like they felt as exciting. Now, he said, what's the movie Crimson Tide? That the dynamic between Riker, Picard, and the villain will remind you of the movie with Gene Hackman, right? Crimson Tide, is that the one?
Yeah, that was Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington, right?
Yeah. So like, so the dynamic there is going to remind you a little. Jonathan Frakes said that he and Jean-Luc may be at odds with the strategy or the way to approach things. So that's an
they've
interesting
talked
way of
about.
looking at it.
I've heard Terry in an interview talk about it. Yeah, like there's like this big moment where Riker and Picard disagree about the right way to go about something, and it's like gonna be like a big dramatic scene between the two of them. So I really want to see that. I want to see just like Patrick Stewart, Jonathan Frakes is like tearing into each other. It's gonna be like so heartbreaking, like seeing like I don't know, like two of your uncles fighting at Thanksgiving or something. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That's when Jonathan Frakes started to kind of comment about how like he started to go on this tangent, but he stopped himself about like conflict between characters and stuff like that, and then he stopped himself and said, "I'm afraid of CBS," which I thought was really hilarious. Also really scary. That CBS sentient evil robot might be a real thing, like the algorithm. But you got my lady Raffi here. Very exciting on the screen.
Yeah, so we knew that Raffi was coming back. Um I don't we see a few shots of her on like it kind of has like a free cloud type vibe to it, but it might be a new location. Yeah, she's in some like grimy, gritty city, very like I don't know, kind of like Blade Runner-esque a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, these shots of the
Wait,
Titan
did you
up
skip the
close.
shot of the Serena, or is that later? That's probably later. Sorry, never mind.
There
My
is a
bad.
shot of her on La Serena.
Yeah, not
That's
her. That's not her. I don't think.
I thought it was her, but someone on La
La
Serena. I'm
Serena, and they
pretty
show
sure
La
it was
Serena
Raffi.
parked.
It looked like
They
Raffi's
show
hair.
La Serena itself parked from the outside on Free Cloud,
We
and
we
yes,
don't
no,
know
there's a pic.
we don't know for sure that it's Free Cloud though, right? Or
Oh
do
yeah,
we?
sorry. Whatever the planet is, the La Serena's parked on like a
It's
rooftop or
not
something.
the La Serena, it's La Serena.
Well, it's sorry, yeah, La Serena. Okay, sorry, whatever. But anyways, Cake was suggesting that we might actually see Santiago Cabrera because maybe the hollows are operational on the ship. But also, how is La Serena there? Because this is like the weird part of causality because technically I think the Borg gigantic ship is what La Serena turned into because didn't Girardi and the Borg Queen go away with the
With La Serena
La Serena, yeah.
in the penultimate episode of season, or no,
Right.
that was the final
And
episode when they do that. Yeah,
and she
so
has the livery before Picard season 2. She has the Picard season 1 livery with the red and white. So it's
well,
very interesting. I'm curious.
you
I don't know what that means.
I'll tell you what it means because it's
Oh,
actually
here
pretty
we go.
simple. It's
Okay,
a
thank you.
flashback. The La Serena stuff's a flashback.
You think so?
It's got to be, yeah.
All right. All right. That's simple. True. That's very simple. That's very simple.
But speaking of the ships, though, the Titan model looks so good up close. You can see like the phaser turrets and stuff on it, and then
Yeah, it's very
the
cool.
bad guy ships. I don't know if I'm like
And a wound. There was a wound on Titan as well. When you when the camera pans over the bridge area, there's like a sizzle. Oh no, maybe I was imagining that. No, yeah, look, see right next to this phaser turret, there's like a little bit of a
battle
blast.
damage.
Battle damage, yeah. So it's interesting.
But the bad guy ships look really menacing, like coming out of like this nebula or whatever they're hiding in. Um, but yeah, there Picard is saying we must run, and 7 of 9 says from what? And we see
And then we
those
see this thing. It's crazy.
villainous ships. The design not incredibly interesting from like a ship perspective,
Here it
but yeah,
reminds me of Nero's ship, though. Do you see that like
they have
first
Narada vibes. The way that they're
Narada
like these
vibes?
long
Yeah,
spikes.
yeah.
But yeah, seeing them emerge like this, they definitely come off menacing, and then having her in the captain's chair and the bad guy dialogue. I think a lot of actors have a lot of fun playing the villains. You get like the big chew the scene
True to
moments like this.
scenery, yeah. Look at the chair. It's so interesting. This is so interesting. There's like Sona vibes there. I don't know.
How very precise with your timing, Jean-Luc Picard. And then when she's like fire, and they're blasting at the Titan. So we know that there's gonna be a lot of starship battle action. Terry and I think Dave Blass and a few others have brought that up a lot. So expect big ship battles in season 3.
Totally.
Lot of exploding consoles in our future.
It looks cool. Look at that. So there's Riker. Look at this. This is gonna be quite a battle, I feel like. But no idea about this ship. I'm so excited to find out more. Oh, look at
Yeah,
that. That's
the
crazy. Look at this.
Shriek.
Yeah, or the Shrike, I think, is
or
what
Shrike.
folks are saying. It's like
Okay.
there's a bird called the Shrike, a Shrike.
Okay. That
There's a
makes me
kind of
wonder if it's
bird.
like Romulan in origin, but
Who knows,
it'd
right?
be cool if they would do some Romulan stuff.
Some Romulan stuff, yeah.
The highlight of the trailer for me, just as like a big Worf fan, was like the Worf stuff.
So, what do you think of Worf being a pacifist? I love it.
Yeah, that seems like an interesting. That's not what I was expecting, so I like that. And how Star Trek is that? That like the guy who is always like, shoot first, ask questions later. The guy who always wanted like the most like militant action. He's always pushing for like, oh yeah, we should just like kill them all now. Let's just blast them with our phasers. It's like, yeah, like no, that guy has become a pacifist. So I think that's interesting. But the dialogue that we get from him, we hadn't really heard him say much other than like, "Don't presume to know how much I have sacrificed." But other than that, we hadn't heard anything of Worf and Picard until now, when he says, "You should know that I now prefer pacifism to combat." And then Riker's reaction to that is just like, "Oh, we're all gonna die." But yeah, I felt like that. It felt like okay, that TNG camaraderie, that chemistry between these characters, between these actors, like that love and friendship that Michael Dorn and Jonathan Frakes share and have shared for decades. I think that really echoes through the performance and the scene, and so we get to kind of experience that.
There's a simpler answer than your flashback one. La Sirena was the Confederation version that went back in time. Duh. Duh. Thanks, Ms. Powell family, for clearing that up. So yeah, that means that Seven. That's right. Seven must have parked her, or maybe she's Rafi's ship now for this mission. Something's going. That makes sense. Thank you so much. I totally forgot that was the Confederation version of La Sirena. So yeah,
that's a good point.
Sense. Yeah.
And this is what we think might be Free Cloud, might be a different planet.
So that means Rios holograms are there. Ooh.
Will they be active?
I don't know, but hey,
will
it's
Santiago
a possibility.
Cabrera come back for one scene?
He won't be playing Rios, but he'll be playing someone else, one of his hollows, possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah. That'll be a delight.
Haven't we been told he's not in the season though?
Look, Father, I don't know by now why you think that's like I don't know. I don't see how you think that's gospel in any way, shape, or form at all. Like, I think there are going to be surprises, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, I think there's going to be surprises, but I think sometimes they do lie about things like that. Biggest example.
I don't. Ever since J.J. Abrams broke that trust with the public, no one. I don't believe anyone, and it's okay. I like it. I would lie too if I were the producer of Star Trek and wanted to keep some things, to be a surprise for the audience. I would take the hit as my cred. I would take the hit to my cred and lie, straight up, bold-faced lie to everyone.
But I think that came from, was it Santiago Cabrera himself who said that? So
it could be a lie. It still could be a lie. Extra paycheck, extra little 10 cents in your paycheck to tell a lie. Penny for a lie.
he might not want it to like show up just for one.
Plus, it's a big deal. Like, I know that like for those who are Star Trek Picard fans, like that love the show and that like really enjoy those characters, that would be a treat. So why not? But again, I like your pragmatism. Let's not expect it. But if it happens, I think it'll definitely be a delight.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if I would like that of like, I guess, yeah, if they had like
it's a hollow, it's not him, it's not Rios.
Right. But I don't know, that almost seems like it'd be kind of like a waste if he just like comes in for like one little scene.
But like that one Hello loved Rafi, remember she kissed him, and like maybe he could help her puzzle something out again. Like, she kissed him, yeah. Like,
which one?
The one, Emmett, not Emmett, no. Which one was the medical? Was it the medical?
Emmett was the tactical one.
Yeah, what was the medical one? It was
the one with the English accent.
Right, I think so. Anyways, remember he's the one who told her about the suns, the the quaternary star system or whatever it was, and she got so happy or whatever, and she kissed him. You're right.
Well, I don't remember her kissing him, but I believe you. I'm sure it's like a very like platonic kiss, like on the cheek or something.
Sure.
So, okay.
Oh, go back to that shot of Titan. Wow, warping.
Yeah.
She's a cool looking ship. I like that.
I like
that
Titan
design. Yeah.
I do. It is kind of frustrating after like watching like Lower Decks, and they do like more like the traditional warp effect. I do kind of wish that we could have that in live action again instead of like the Star Wars hyperdrive tunnels. But yeah, I guess I just need to accept that I'll probably never see that again. Unless it's like a flashback to like that time period, then they might do it then.
Well, I mean, I do prefer the aesthetic of that warp too, but like it makes sense that if warp technology changes, maybe the folding mechanism and the
Yeah, I'm
bubble
fine with
itself.
it
Yeah, it's like
changing. I mean, it seems a little
it's fine.
weird. Like, okay, it looks like this in Discovery and Strange New Worlds, and then doesn't look like that again until we get into the 2390s. Then all of a sudden, it looks like that again. I think
Right.
that's like a little sus, but yeah, I don't. It's
Sus.
not a bad effect. So, Picard wearing that com badge from season 2 that was
His
originally created.
commandant.
Yeah, it was created just to be like what he wears as like for ceremonies and stuff as like the commandant of the academy. But Patrick Stewart loved that badge so much that he wanted to wear it throughout the entirety of season 3. So
Oh,
we'll see a
rad.
lot of that throughout the season.
Oh, I love that. I can't wait to get that badge. I haven't seen it manufactured yet, but I bet it's coming down the pike.
And Raffi is talking. Raffi's doing kind of her like paranoia thing. She's saying things in the trailer like they are blind to something big, and we don't know what she's talking about, but she seems to be like on the hunt for something. Um, that ties into some Worf stuff in a moment. But
Oh,
we
I
we
like
actually get to see
Miss
Doctor
Powell
Crush.
family. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Father. But this is fun. This is exciting. Is Bev a Fenris Ranger or head of the Rios's Mariposa Doctors Without Borders thing? Because we do see those Mariposa supplies on La Serena, and so yeah, it would be neat to get little tie-ins. I don't see why they wouldn't do it, but we don't want to expect any of those things. But that's a cool theory. Sorry, carry on, Father.
I'm sorry, lost my train of thought
I
there.
did too. I got excited about that theory. You were talking about Beverly and what she was gonna say to what she says to Jean Luc here.
Yeah,
That
we finally get a scene on screen of Crusher and Picard interacting again, and the dialogue exchange there is Crusher says it could be what it always was, an attempt on your life. So is someone like going after the TNG crew to try to like get to Picard? It's like a vendetta against like Picard himself. I guess that would kind of make more sense since the show is technically Star Trek Picard. It should be Picard centric.
But this villain seems to there's dialogue later that the villain seems to be wanting to destroy like she wants to destroy everything about like feel like she's whatever whatever her beef is, her Trek beef, whatever her Trek beef is, she wants to like make him suffer. She talks about like destroying Earth or something like that, or like something about what does she say later? Do you remember?
The
Like,
exact dialogue is I'll peck and I'll jab at everything that makes you you. We will scorch the
mm,
earth under which he stands, and the night will brighten with the ashes of the Federation. But we will have
crazy.
vengeance.
See, like, what is going on? Oh, I gotta find out. This is crazy.
So to me, that makes me think that yeah, like she is only going after these people because of their connection to Picard. And she's like, going to attack them just to piss off Picard or just hurt him or
the,
whatever. So
and the stakes are pretty high. Like, Terry Metalis suggested in a tweet that no one is safe. So,
yeah,
like, someone,
so
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's very likely that not everyone's going to survive. I think Worf makes the most sense to kill off.
Don't do that. It's, I can't. I gotta
And
like
to me, I
a
think the
pain in
logical
my
choice
gut
would be
thinking
like
about
Doctor Crusher.
it.
I would kill Doctor
No,
Crusher if it was up to me,
no,
and then
no,
I would do that. I would do that
no.
in the second episode, and then have Pulaski
Shut.
show up for the rest of the season.
You're. Oh, now I know you're just being a, a poop. It's like, no, no, no. The line was redrawn here. How to make Starfleet Boy crazy.
It looks like some sparks between Geordi and Picard because when they meet, and we know that Geordi is pretty high ranking. He's like in the upper brass now. He's a Commodore. He's still in
Yeah.
engineering. He's still got the gold, colored uniform. But yeah, he's a Commodore now. But Picard mentions a Worf and Riker, and then Geordi is like, "You roped them into this too." So
Yeah, why is Jordy like in that scene did he seem like pissed about it, or
yeah, he
was he
seems like he's
like
not happy about whatever Picard is doing. Like, why are you
is
involved in
doing
this?
yeah.
In this? And then the Worf and Raffi stuff, which I thought was
It's
particularly
so
interesting,
cool.
when we see them
Yeah.
fight, they're like kicking each other and stuff in the streets, and Worf is saying, "I was once like her, irrational, violent." So I think Worf
Okay,
training Raffi is going to be a big
Worf
a
and
big thing.
Raffi.
If they are going to spin off into a possible Raffi and Seven show, which Terry said he would love to see that happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they could kind of have
And he said the baton's going to be passed in this show. So who's the baton being passed to? That's an interesting thing too.
yes. So, and we know that Paramount Plus is going to want to replace Picard with something.
Something.
And
It's got a
Alex
lot of hype,
Kurtzman keeps
obviously.
teasing, "Yeah, we got other shows in development." So, they didn't reveal them yet, but they're going to have to reveal it soon, whatever it is.
All in good
But
time.
did you recognize this dude that Worf is talking to? Is he like the young actor that we heard about a couple months ago?
No, that's so you're thinking of the actor from Downton Abbey, and I can't remember his name at the moment, but I saw Jurg say that this might be gosh, what's the name of the actor? He played one of Picard's children in the Nexus. And he also was on an
Really?
episode of Voyager. Yeah. So that's oh gosh, what's his name? Uh let me see. Let me see. Let me see if I can find Jurg's tweet. Hold on. Because
Well, while you're looking for that, I want to point out Jill 47's comment. She says, "I am sick of killing legacy characters and of revenge arcs." So yeah, there's definitely going to be like a revenge arc here. I think with this bad guy, definitely seems to she has beef with Picard. But I don't think that Picard himself will die, because the during the panel, Patrick Stewart said, "I just hope everyone at Paramount Films is listening and everyone at Paramount Plus is listening. But hey, we could make a movie. We could do a movie." So Patrick Stewart, I guess, had so much fun, working with his TNG castmates again. He's ready to do more Star Trek. So I think that's interesting. But yeah, Terry definitely made it sound like not everyone is going to survive. So I think and Worf to me makes the most sense, because Michael Dorn is talking about how, like, yeah, it is hard, having to wear the makeup and stuff. And
but there's so much love for Worf. He's such a well, they all are, but like, yeah, yeah, it is interesting. I don't know. I think it's gonna. I don't know. I don't want to think about it, but it's Thomas Dekker, who's a singer now. He's a singer now, but
okay, Thomas Dekker,
he was in Star Trek
another Dekker.
Generations. Yeah, and in the
He's
he
one of the
played.
Nexus kids in Generations.
Yep, and he played another kid on Voyager Persistence of Vision, which was Henry Burley, maybe holographic Henry Burley. Persistence of Vision. Do you remember that episode?
Persistence of Vision. Uh,
You want me to
who
put
did
up a
he play?
screenshot? This kid named I don't remember this episode personally, so maybe it's a later season. Um, but anyways, he looks like Billy Joe Armstrong. Someone said on in the comments of George's tweet, but I can put this on the screen if you want to see the picture of the kid. Maybe that'll jog your memory. As to
Is it when they're hallucinating?
here, I'm gonna put
When
this
like
on. You'll remember when you see it.
B'Elanna has the sex dream about Chakotay.
Uh, don't know anything about that.
That was a
But
season 2 episode. I guess you were asleep during that one.
okay, the kid on the lower right hand corner
Yeah,
there
he was one of the holodeck kids that Janeway was looking after.
in
When
season
she had,
two.
yeah, he was in more than one episode.
Okay, wow. How
Okay, I didn't know that was the same
Starfleet Boy has
kid.
to start Voyager from the start. Clearly, I missed a lot of episodes.
Well, we were gonna do that for your Starfleet Boy
Yeah, for my stream,
things,
yeah.
right? Because we were
So
gonna do
yeah,
DS9 and Voyager like together in air date order.
exactly. So yeah. Anyways, there you go. Back to your presentation there.
Okay,
So
well,
he's
that's
talking to
interesting.
yeah. So he's talking to Worf, but who, as far as like who he is, who could he be?
No idea. Not particularly interested. I don't think it'll be anything too remarkable. But
Mm.
the idea of like Worf training Raffi, I think is going to be interesting to me. If Worf dies in the show, what if like he passes his Kurleth on to Raffi and like she uses it in like some future show or something. But I think if you're going to kill someone, Worf makes the most sense because that is like a happy ending. You know, give him a glorious death.
Ugh,
I
I
see
don't want to.
some people
He
in the
just
live
said that
audience
they
are
weren't
like no,
safe. Yeah.
don't kill any legacy characters. I'm like, no, please fucking kill Worf. Like he wants to die. That is a
Wow.
happy ending for him.
That is kind of a
Please do
happy. Yeah,
it.
today is a good. Today was finally the day.
Yeah. Let him go out like a boss, saving the day. Like what should have happened to Nemesis instead of
But we already
Picard going
lost
over there.
Data. This crew has lost a lot of people, and Data's not coming back either. So I feel like it's already too
That's
much.
part
But
of
hey, you
life,
know
though.
what?
That's part of
It is
life.
part of life.
We
You're
lose
right.
we
It's
lose
gonna
our
be.
loved ones.
If there's anyone I trust with the handling of this, it is Terry Metalis. I gotta
Prune
say.
juice in hand. Yeah, let Worf go out drinking some prune juice. Today is a good day to die. I'm all for it.
I don't know. I personally like a right off into the sunset ending, but hey, whatever. I'll be happy, I won't be happy, but I'll be okay with it if it's an honorable death.
I mean, to me that just seems like the obvious one. If it had to be somebody, that's the one I would
Somebody,
pick.
yeah.
Oh, and we have one of Geordi's
Yes.
daughters, right? Uh, so this is not the one played by Mika Burton, but this is the other one who's I guess the helm officer on the Titan.
On the Titan, and she is. I hope Jean-Luc doesn't say the Titan is not the Titan without a LaForge. No, just kidding. But
No, he says LaForge, gun it,
got
stay
it. I like
inside.
that. Yeah, that was cool. Also, I didn't get to confirm this personally, but I understand that the daughters have the same names as the daughters did in All Good Things. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, Sydney and Sasha, I think.
No, it was something else. Maybe Sasha. I don't know, but yeah, Sydney's one of them.
And what else do we got before the big oh, the shot of Troy using her Betazoid empath abilities, and she says what did she say? I wrote it down. Oh, there's a darkness on this ship, all consuming darkness. And that's right before we get shots of our villain looking bad. There she is with like the red leather glove on her hand,
Take a look
looking like
at
she has literal
her.
blood on her hands.
Take a look at these interesting scars on her face. Like, who is she? It's very curious. Like, they were talking about not revealing who the villain is played by, but I still don't know who she could be. Like, remember they were talking about like not revealing the villain's casting because they didn't want people to know who she could be. But did anyone break it or crack it yet? Have you
Well,
seen anything?
they told us that she's a new character.
Oh, that's right. They did. There's someone else that they had said that they don't want to post. That's right. Okay,
Oh,
never mind. I'm getting
Brent
things mixed
Spiner's
up. Yeah.
character. They
Yeah,
said
that's what it was. It
that
was
was the one.
lore.
Like,
By the
yeah,
way, I feel like I called the lore thing, just FYI, but I mean, whatever. I've been saying like I've been throwing everything at it. So I've been throwing all the theories at it.
oh, and there's a Worf swinging the Kurleth around in action, so I like that. Is this on La Serena? Looks like it
This
could be.
is a loser right now. Oh my god.
So he's hanging out with Raffi on La Serena. So
Yes.
yeah, it's not a flashback. It is present day. So they have the prime timeline, La Serena, and Worf is hanging out with Raffi there. I guess doing some training. And Bev is in like a cryo chamber. Is she like held prisoner? Is she put in cryogenic stasis? Is that what's going on here?
It looks like it, yeah. Ooh, and look, Jean-Luc looks so concerned.
Yeah, he looks quite sad when he finds that, but I assume
I
he
know.
rescues her.
Wait, can you go back a few? Someone was DMing me that I couldn't say no to. That's all.
But what?
Someone was DMing me that I couldn't say no to. So could you go back a few frames? I missed a few
Couldn't
frames.
say
Someone was DMing me that I could not. I had to answer the DM. So if
Oh,
you'll. All right, Riker.
what
Okay, there we go.
what
Yeah,
are
yeah. I
you?
missed all this.
What are you? I'm so confused.
Just go with it, Father. The only way through is chaos. What I'm saying is I missed a bunch of your slides because I was talking to someone, so I apologize. It was a
Okay,
little distracting.
so
In a good way, in a really good way.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Um,
Look at the ship. So, all right, here we get a good view. Look, oh, to the right, Father, it might be a Romulan ship after all. To the right, can you zoom in to the to their version of the ooh, what's going on
where
over
do-
there? Oh, that's not. Ooh, that's neat too. Recognize that interface at all?
no,
No, me neither.
it looks more Klingon than anything, but I think it's something new. I think the Shrike's a new ship.
Yeah, I like. Look at the
But I don't know
design up
if that is a
there. It's cool.
bird. If that would kind of skew towards Romulan.
It would, perhaps, but it's a different design. There she is. Earth space dock.
Yeah, I think there's like some type of like celebration. Looks like there's fireworks going off
I
at
think this
Space
is the
Dock.
christening of Enterprise F, maybe, no?
Well, they show this right before they show Enterprise F, so we know that our friend Jack is going to be thrilled that we
Yeah,
finally have the Odyssey class in canon. It's
she
going to
looks
happen.
gorgeous.
I think this is probably like from I don't know, maybe like towards the end of the season, or the Enterprise F isn't going to be a major player in the show. It's going to be
How ter- how terrible would it be if the Shrike team figures out a way to like destroy her on her christening day?
I
And
think that'd
like
actually be pretty cool. It'd be like, man, like these guys mean serious business. If
yeah, they like just
they
destroyed an
they
Enterprise.
blew up like the most like modern, most advanced Enterprise, right off of the right out of the assembly line. You know, like here it comes. Watch out, bad guys, and then they just take it down. That would
Oh
actually
my
be cool. I
gosh.
would love that. I know Starfleet Boy, you and some other people were like very vocal about not wanting to see the Odyssey class. Remember, like
It's
I sent you a picture of something like, oh look, looks like the Odyssey might show up in Picard season 3, and your immediate response was, "Fuck that shit."
Did I say I
Only
was drunk?
yes.
I had to have
Oh,
been drunk when I said that.
yeah, you're like only the Sovereign class for me and the
I was
Enterprise E.
being belligerent on purpose. That was belligerence in the name of comedy. But I'll just say yes. I do love the Sovereign. She's a gorgeous ship. I think I've gone on record plenty of times saying that the refit Constitution is my favorite, and then after that is the Sovereign. But now I don't know. There's a lot more ships that like Stargazer gave me a lot of chills and thrills, and also Titan is just a gorgeous freaking ship too. So they're really knocking it out of the park. And they said there's gonna be a lot of ships, and we saw that in that one shot. I didn't catch that there's like tons of ships all around Space Dock, but of course there
Yeah.
would be. But they said we're gonna get a lot of ships, new ships, ship battles, space scenes. So yeah,
Yeah, and I think a lot of
this is
legacy ships. So
exciting.
they gave us a lot of legacy
Yeah.
ships in Picard season 2. So I think that tradition will continue into season 3, and yeah, and also new stuff. You can bring in some new stuff from Star Trek Online. There's gonna be ships for everyone.
So is the Odyssey class that we're seeing here now? I saw that Thomas Maroney or Marone, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, said that he had done a spruce up for the Odyssey in Star Trek Online. But the Odyssey is the fan designed Enterprise, right? That won that
It
contest
was
years
yeah, it was a
ago.
design
Yeah.
for like who will make like the next Enterprise, and then it was a competition, and then yeah, it
So
was done by a fan.
so that's something that's pretty awesome about both the Titan and the Enterprise here is because I feel like Bill Krause, he's not officially like, well, now he is, but before he's just Bill Krause, who designed Titan based on the Shangri-La. He's a
Well,
modeler
he
and
designed the Shangri-La, and
yeah,
then the
yeah,
Titan was
was taken
based
out
on that.
was based on that. Yeah, but like I guess what I mean to say is that it's cool that they're incorporating fan designs into Star Trek. I feel like that's a newer thing. Like I can't remember maybe what was it, the Prometheus or something? I forget. There have been
The
instances.
Prometheus was designed by Rick Sternbach.
Oh,
I'm
Rick
pretty
Sternbach.
sure.
Okay, cool, cool. But it's neat. It's neat. It's very cool that these hero ships get these fan designed versions.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more just like they're using what worked in Star Trek Online. And Dave Blass said they were doing that. Like, oh, it's the same reason why they used to use like pre-existing designs on the shows. It was just cheaper to do that. So it's like it's a way that we can save money now. But from an in-universe perspective, it makes a lot of sense. Within like the continuity of the universe, it's like yeah, like these designs that you see in the past, they would continue to be used in the future. Or like Star Trek Online already like came up with a bunch of cool designs that work in that aesthetic, so why not just bring them on over to canon? um but yeah, I guess we get like a lot of battle, a lot of action, a lot of people in danger. Riker saying fire everything we got, torpedoes, explosions. This is the shot I am very sure this is Raffi on La Serena, like pounding her fist into the rails. She's mad about something. I don't know. Maybe it's someone else. It looks like her hair. And then Moriarty has returned. So this was the big surprise. I think I feel like it wasn't that long ago. We were on a stream or something, and somebody was talking about, oh yeah, the big bad in Picard season 3. It's going to be hologram Moriarty. It's like I don't think they're bringing back hologram Moriarty, but apparently they are. He is here. Greetings, old friends. You're on mute.
I said now, interestingly, he's in the same room as Lore, who we got a little glimpse of as well. But yeah, having Moriarty back is phenomenal. I'm a real big fan of Daniel Davis. A couple of years ago, right before the uh, um, before season, I think it was right at the end of season one of Picard, around the end of season one. But when I had finished my TNG discussions, I commissioned a cameo from Daniel Davis, and he totally improvised this whole thing of like Moriarty coming back and creating a little discomfort for Jean-Luc, and like all these like kind of fun things. And I know these shows like are in production for a long time, but I wonder if like Daniel was he pulling a Jonathan Frakes' cake as Eternal suggested, and giving a hint, or had this
No,
not even been like a
he
thing yet?
wouldn't.
It's
He wouldn't
crazy.
have known about this back then. I was gonna pull up that video clip,
Oh,
but
I can. I have it here somewhere. Hold on. I can probably upload it for you real quick so you can pull it up. It is really delightful. But yeah, what did you think of how Moriarty looks? He's got his gun there.
yeah, he
You
looked
know.
cool. He's the original supervillain from Sherlock Holmes novels, but with a computerized software brain designed to be powerful enough to foil data. So yeah, he's a serious baddie, and it makes sense that they would bring him back. Something that like we've we've always speculated, like, oh yeah, they could just fire up the Moriarty program from the box that he's stuck in. Like I said earlier, I thought we would see him in Lower Decks. I always felt like, oh yeah, like that's just a perfect character for Lower Decks to do something with. Serious enough that you could actually make him like a legitimate threat, but silly enough of a concept that it would work in a sitcom type show. But no, they're actually doing them on one of the live action shows on Star Trek Picard. So it was a very pleasant surprise. I was delighted to see him included.
Totally. Dan is saying, "Holy Moriarty," and our friend Aaron says, "Now you can be a trusted source." A trusted source for nothing. All right, I think I have the cameo in your system here, Father. If you want me to put it on real quick to show what
Go
Daniel
for it.
Davis said. All right, here we go.
Subscribers to Starfleet Boy. Professor James Moriarty here from Star Trek Next Generation. Starfleet Boy has asked me to reach out to you on his behalf to thank you for being so wonderful and so supportive and so patient with him and his presentation. I hear through the grapevine that he is trying very hard to figure out a way of getting Professor Moriarty out of that little annoying computer program on that little annoying cube on little annoying Captain Picard's desk. Especially now that Captain Picard seems to be enjoying his own show, with some visitors from the past. I don't see why Professor Moriarty can't be one of them. Perhaps I can come and cause him a little difficulty, and we can have a nice little debate about what it means to be human. Do you know, every once in a while in our computer programs that we share, I run into the good doctor on Voyager, who thanks me for the fact that his character could never have been created without Professor Moriarty and the technology. They figured out how to put some stupid armband on him so that he could leave the holodeck. Why can't they do that for me? Do you want me to get really, really angry about it and take over the whole Star Trek universe from inside the holodeck? Don't think I can't. At any rate, I know it's a creepy time you Earthlings are living through. So stay at home as much as you can, look after yourselves as much as you can, and don't end up in some little cube somewhere. Be well, and have a good day.
Love it. That's great.
It was delightful to receive that from him. He completely improvised that. All I asked him to do was to give a shout out to my audience, and he went and did that.
He went the extra
thing.
mile. Yeah.
He went like way extra mile.
But, you know, he
it's so
clearly
cool.
is having fun with the Moriarty stuff. You know, he's been
Yeah.
doing Star Trek conventions for years and stuff. So yeah, I've heard him talk, like when Star Trek Discovery was getting started, he was like, "Oh, a new Star Trek show. Well, you know, it'd make a good, interesting episode if they run Professor Moriarty."
Which they could. I mean, like honestly, like James Moriarty could have come back at any point because of the way he works.
James Moriarty, is that his first name? Is it
Yeah,
James?
James is his first name. Yeah, Professor James Moriarty. Yes, I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan. I've been since I was a little kid. So I always love those TNG episodes where Data was, you know, especially
Yes.
that one. You know, like it's a big thing like that. And I forget who said it, but someone said online that it was Rachel, I think. Rachel, who's a frequent guest on Tex-Trek, said that this was her first exposure to the character of Moriarty.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. Cool.
Yeah, so this was kind of her entry into that world. So yeah, that
Yeah,
was
and
a
that guy
pretty
I
cool
said a
thing,
second
yeah.
ago, he's kind of like the OG supervillain.
Yeah,
You could debate who the actual like first supervillain is, but I think Professor Moriarty has like a claim to fame on that regard. So I saw Trek on the Tube suggested maybe they bring Moriarty in to foil lore. They needed it's like, I know someone smart enough to defeat Data android brain person, and maybe that's why they deploy him. Like maybe he's like
there might be a twist. I think there's a good you know, chance, not a good chance. I just think there's a chance that there will be a twist where where Lore and Moriarty might be helping our folks instead of being part of the villainy.
Yeah,
But,
or maybe
you
at
know,
least one of them will be. But
yeah.
I don't think.
Do you have that clip of the shot of Lore though from it's right after this.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, but it's the same room as Moriarty. Look, they're in the same room
With the
the
blue
same kind
screens.
of like maybe this is a prison for AI, like for
I'm not
robots.
convinced it's the same
Oh, it's
room.
not the same room. You're right. Sorry, my bad. It looked like it for a second. The doors looked
Yeah, I mean,
similar.
it could be, or they could be like, you know, down the hall from one another.
Yeah. Yeah. Something's going on. They're like in some place, because Geordi's like, but like the thing with the gun.
Yeah, Geordi reacted to Lore, and then we see
Yeah.
like Picard looking uncomfortable. So.
Oh wait, this is maybe the brig aboard the Titan. Could they?
We
have
don't
doors?
like
I
these
don't know.
three shots could be from three different episodes, for
Yeah,
all we
you're
know,
right. You're
so-
right. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, the way that they're edited together, it kind of implies that Geordi looks over here and sees Lore, and Picard's like, "Oh shit, it's that asshole Lore." I would also like to point out that for season 3 of Picard, they've gone from like a gold logo to blue, like the lettering is blue now.
Yeah.
Like Star Trek the original series did in season 3, they switched from gold to blue. Just want to point that out. And for whatever reason, my Picard season 1 content that I made for Tex-Trek, I did everything in like I went into Photoshop and colored their show logo blue, and just put that on everything I was doing.
I didn't
so.
notice that. I'll have to go back and look.
No one
That's
noticed it.
interesting.
I've never even talked about it out loud before until now. So
Look at, we both had these inside source premonitions, Father. Look at
I
that.
guess, yeah. we saw the future. But yeah, so Brent Spiner's surprise secret character that they didn't want to talk about has been revealed. He is playing Lore, which matches what Terry said in his interview with Trek Core. With Trek Movie. He said Brent will be playing a new version of an old character. I was actually thinking he was going to be the original Soong. Was like somehow had like survived or like installed his personality into an android body or something like that. That's what I thought they were going for, but no, he is the new version of Lore.
Yep, and it makes sense. I think that Lore, just like Data, would age and stuff like that.
Well,
and...
he doesn't look like Lore. He's got more of like a human looking.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, you're
like
right.
When I saw
this,
I was like,
yeah.
I was like,
I'm sure Brent Spiner appreciates that.
Yeah, like less time in the makeup chair. But when I saw this, I'm like, well, that's Brent. I have no idea who he's playing. And then Jordy's like, Lore, and I was like, oh, I guess he's Lore.
And look, he's wearing what looks like it might be a Starfleet uniform.
Yeah, he's definitely wearing a Starfleet uniform.
Yeah, but it's like a different era. Look, it's got like the right. Isn't it different? Like no, I don't know. It's a lot to unpack.
Kind of looks like the gray turtleneck with like the zipper
with the zipper,
on a Star Trek Voyager uniform.
Yeah, something. Yeah, there's something interesting there.
Yeah, because like the other Starfleet uniforms that we see, they have like the high collars, right? At least
yeah,
Jordy's
they have a different collar. Yeah, so yeah, it's interesting how he looks. It's very interesting.
Where did like the not because like the
Moriarty
TNG
so
crew,
badass.
they kind of all have like fancy uniforms. Where's just like no, this dude at the helm, he has like the gray undershirt collar.
Yeah, but see how it has the full. It has like it has this thing, like this shape, like the lower decks shape. Like if you go back and look at that dude, like everyone else has like the coat, like the
wraparound.
The wraparound, exactly. Whereas a few of them don't, but they have a different design. But I'm sure in due time we'll find out what's going on. But that's an interesting difference there. What does 7 have? Go back. I think 7 might have.
7 has the dark. That's the season 2 uniform where it's like it's a dark undershirt with a high collar, and then you have the wraparound around it.
I like that. That screenshot's meme worthy of 7, like like reacting. That's funny.
Yeah,
but so nice. So nice. This was such a treat. Like we were all hoping for this, and it delivered, and it definitely exceeded my expectations. Like. I have already watched this trailer like probably 20 times or 30 times today. I'm pretty obsessed with it. Yeah, I just absolutely cannot wait. For February 16th.
There was some other cool stuff that came out of the panel. Terry Matalas teased, Patrick had this really bombshell idea of what to do in season 3.
And that's not even been revealed yet.
Yeah, that hasn't been revealed yet. So whatever they were like, before they even went into production on season 2, Patrick Stewart was like, hey, I got like this idea of how to end the show. And I guess like people really liked that. So it kind of makes me nervous because he also had like this idea of like, I want to drive a dune buggy around in the desert while aliens shoot at me. So
that doesn't make me I loved it. So I'm all for Patrick, and I love everything he thought about for Picard. Like I really enjoyed Jean-Luc in his Hermitage and all that stuff. It says here, there's a quote that I wrote down, which is Alex Kurtzman was kind of recalling the pitch, I think, and it was like, I want to see the last next gen movie. Let's tell it over 10 episodes and make it one big blowout. So that's you had referenced that earlier as well. So yeah, it's going to be pretty.
And that was like Terry Matalas's kind of a mandate going into season 3. So so that's all exciting to hear. They did some Q&A stuff with the audience, and not any like great memorable questions, but like the cool moment was when like that one woman was just like, oh my god, it means so much to me to see all of you up here on stage together. And I used to watch the show with my grandpa, and this next generation meant a lot to us. And she was like in tears crying. Marina like ran down, gave her a hug. That was a cool, sweet moment. And made me think of the time I was talking about 10 years ago for the 25th anniversary when I saw all of them together at a convention. And then at the time it was like, yeah, like we're Star Trek is over. We're not doing more adventures as these characters from the next generation. This is never going to happen. And yeah, it just seems like it was a long road from there to here. Let's say that, to quote a terrible song. But yeah,
cool.
and the enthusiasm. I think Patrick Stewart was very fatigued after doing season 2 of Picard, and then they go immediately into production of season 3, and he was probably feeling worn out from all the work, but just being around those TNG castmates again just rejuvenated him and re-energized him. And now after they've shot season 3, he's like, let's do more stuff, let's do a movie, Paramount. So Picard's not gonna die in season 3. I think he's gonna be alive at the end. I don't know if Worf or everyone else will be, but it sounds like Picard will be sticking around.
It's gonna be a bloodbath. Like,
oh, I'm just saying, like no, Terry Matalas has told us, like, yes.
All he said is no, you can't. No one's safe. He didn't say who. Like, no one could be anyone.
But then his response after that, when someone told him, like,
oh, I know, it's like
one of the TNG characters is a risky move, and then Matalas just said, "Risk is our business."
That's true. I feel like that. I remember that. Yeah, it's like, but I think that's. I don't know. I'm so scared, but I love it. I'm excited about.
You're probably gonna see someone you like die.
You're gonna totally milk it when that happens.
I'm not gonna milk it, but I mean, like,
have me on here crying like a baby.
Oh, like I like shows that make me cry. I think
it's
a good
true.
thing when
No, it is a
me
great
cry.
thing. And speaking of crying, 12 Monkeys will make you cry like crazy if you watch it, especially at the end. That's all I gotta say. Like a crazy person.
I can't watch it though. So.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I just finished my Chateau Picard right in time for the
Well, the I guess the final thing I had wrote down to be sure to mention, you kind of touched on it a second ago, but Terry Matalas did say during the panel that during the Q&A, someone asked, like, TNG had Bones come on board in the first episode. Deep Space Nine got started with kind of like Picard passing the baton on to Cisco. Is there going to be a moment like that in Picard season 3? I get, like, the setting's kind of weird, but will you be passing the baton on to, like, the other new shows that are currently in production? And Terry Matalas, like, very enthusiastic, was just like, yes, that is for sure definitely going to happen. You are going to see that. So to me, that surprised me. It's like, oh wow, like, how are they going to connect this to, like, the other shows that are on right now? I mean, it's possible, time travel, whatnot, timey-wimey stuff. Or do they already have, like, their new show, like, planned out, ready to go? They're just keeping it hush hush for now. And after Picard season 3 airs, like, we'll see, like, oh, here's the setup for another 25th century show, and it looks like they'll just go straight into production on that, and that'll replace that slot on Paramount Plus, and that'll give us all these other things that they're teasing. Like Alex Kurtzman said, we've had talks of live action Kate Mulgrew coming back, or Terry saying before how he'd love to do something with, like, Seven and Raffi. So is it possible that we're gonna have the setup for a new show within season 3 of Picard?
I really think and hope that the next series will be set in the 25th century. I think it makes sense. We have Disco doing a solid job of, this high concept 32nd century future. I think it fits so well in that place, but it's so far in the future that it doesn't, like, really affect anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's so distant that, like,
it's
like,
divorced from everything else.
We have Strange New Worlds, like, bringing new life to a very familiar era, the 23rd century, if you will. So I think the 25th century, which a lot of people regard as the present tense of Star Trek, in a way, would be an ideal spot. How that show is going to end up shaping up, I don't know, but I really hope that this team, spearheaded by Terry Matalas, is behind it, and may it live long and prosper. I think it's a great era. I mean, we're already, like, I feel like a lot of my favorite kind of stories are set here because it's just a place that I'm very interested in. end of 24th century, beginning of 25th century. So, Prodigy and Lower Decks take place in those time periods. So I'm really excited. I like this era. It's very alive. There's a lot of stories to tell from TNG, DS9, Voyager,
Right, and all of those actors are going to be like the right age to
and
show
stuff
up
like
on
that.
it,
Yeah,
so that's
so it's
very convenient.
Yeah, there will never be a better time. As
Andrew Hayes is saying my vote is on an Enterprise F show, and I don't think they're going to do another Enterprise.
I really don't think it's going to happen.
Show because Strange New Worlds is the show about the Enterprise.
It's currently carrying the torch of the Enterprise show. Yeah, for me.
Yeah, what might be a good idea though, since I don't know if we're ever going to get another Kelvin movie. But in Jonathan Frakes, teased this with Patrick Stewart. He's like, "Oh yeah, look, Paramount has a slot open now for a Star Trek movie."
Right.
So what if they did Enterprise F movies? I would rather see that because I'm like, the Kelvin timeline's cool, but I like continuity. I like prime timeline stuff. I want to see something that that'll be part of the same timeline as the majority of the rest of Star Trek. So I would rather see like Enterprise F movies if they're going to start doing movies more closely related to the TV shows again.
Yeah, good point. Very good point. It would be really nice to see a movie, doing that, but I'm okay with like Enterprise being, that like something that having I'm okay with Enterprise F not being the main. That would be too much for me too. I think. I don't know. I mean, I'd watch it still, but yeah, I like the idea of doing something.
Or after Strange New Worlds is over, maybe that's a good time to do like an Enterprise F show or Enterprise G.
That's true. No, F. Let's do the F. Come on, let's give the F a little. I know there's plenty of letters in the alphabet, but I like the idea of like spending a little time with those letters, like...
Yeah, but I mean that's gonna be it for our stream. But I hope everyone enjoyed the panel as much as we did. I definitely got a kick out of seeing all three of these trailers. I'm excited for all of these shows in addition to Lower Decks. Still has a couple more episodes before it closes out season 3, and we have Strange New Worlds waiting for probably like a springtime release for season 2. So yeah, it looks like let's just, I guess, run through the gauntlet. So we have 3 more episodes of Lower Decks, right? So
that's right.
And that Lower Decks finale will be on October 27th. That is the mid-season premiere of Prodigy. So that'll be a double-header show for us. That week on Tex-Trek, we'll be covering both those episodes on our live stream, and then also available as a podcast. And then we'll have 9 more weeks of Prodigy after that. That takes us to the end of the year. And then we'll have 6 weeks of no new Star Trek. Oh my God, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do during that
2023 will start with 6 weeks of no new Star Trek. But then we get Picard in February. So 10 episode season there. And then I think they'll probably line up Strange New Worlds to follow that, followed by Discovery season 5, and then Lower Decks in August. Or might get pushed back to like September or something, depending on how everything fits in there. But yeah, it looks like 2023. There's gonna be it's gonna be a big year. It's gonna be a year of 5 Star Trek shows. I think there's gonna be room for all of them, and so we're not gonna get that 2023 movie. that was taken off of the slate.
That was a psych.
But so much fucking TV shows.
Yeah,
I feel like, a movie would just be a cherry on top.
Who could complain about this current era of Star Trek?
An embarrassment of googlers, but also an embarrassment of riches. Yes,
of riches for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so fun stuff to look forward to, and if people are watching this later, please comment and say what was the highlight for you? Like, what did you think stood out in the panel? But otherwise, you can check out the Tex-Trek live show every Friday at 7 p.m. Central. Please hit subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so that Starfleet Boy can hear me torture myself and sing my least favorite song of all time, Enterprise's theme song, Faith of the Heart. But yeah, and you can also listen to Tex-Trek Rivergate, your podcast. And if you'd like to help us out, you can not only subscribe to the YouTube channel, but rate the podcast on whatever podcast service you use. You know, if you give us a rating, 5 stars, or whatever is the option. You know, we're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all the major platforms. So thanks if you could rate us there to help us out. And Starfleet Boy, what's going on with you and your content?
Well, you can check out Starfleet Boy on YouTube as well as Twitter. Those are the places I'm most active on. I started doing TikTok, so if you're on TikTok, please let me know. Say something or send me a message. Follow me if you like there as well. But tomorrow we're going to be talking about the latest episode of Star Trek Lower Decks with my fabulous space owl alien husband, Raw Dog. So go check that discussion out. It'll be around 1 p.m. And then I believe we're doing a live stream tomorrow on Trek Central as well. So keep an eye out on that. And also, I guess that's all I got to promote. But I will just say, if you stay tuned to Starfleet Boy After Dark, because there's going to be 12 Monkeys content coming up. There, I got it in, Father. Yeah, you can mute me.
You're allowed to promote your 12 Monkeys.
Oh, okay.
Content.
Yeah. So on Starfleet Boy After Dark,
I didn't want you to say spoilers for the show.
No, I wouldn't. No, it wasn't a spoiler necessarily. It was just an observation, but it was wrong. So I'm glad I didn't embarrass myself with that observation. So
you're welcome.
But thank you, Father, for having me on. It's so much, thanks for building this community. And I don't know if you pitched your next Patreon watch along already. I'm sorry if I missed that, but
October 15th, we're doing
October
the fall.
15th. But you've been creating such a nice community here on Tex-Trek, and I love being a part of these discussions, and I'm really happy that on the day of this trailer drop, we got to talk about it. I hope the audience enjoyed this discussion. I certainly enjoyed the theories y'all were presenting in the chat and stuff like that.
If y'all want to keep the conversation going, please check the description. There is a link to the Tex-Trek Discord. We've been having a lot of fun over there. We don't just talk about Star Trek either. We have a channel we're talking about like other shows and movies that people are currently watching. So that's been a lot of fun too. So I've encouraged people to go take part in our discussions over on the Tex-Trek Discord.
Excellent. Look, you just got a new subscriber. Thank you, Dan.
Well, thank you, Dan. So
cool.
yeah, thank you so much. And Linda says people are not going to subscribe because no one wants to hear that song. But you'd be surprised, Linda, as much as I think it is a terrible, terrible, god-awful, just ridiculously bad piece of music. Some people claim that they unironically enjoy it. So
I do enjoy it. I actually,
I
find myself
infinite diversity, infinite combinations. I guess. I mean, I don't get it, but Klingons like to eat worms, and some people like to listen to Faith of the Heart. I don't know. I'm not going to judge, but yeah. So fun stuff. But we'll go ahead and sign off. Check out Trek Central live on Sundays. You can often find the two of us over there, and in addition to our own content, and
one to beam up.
Until next time, wherever that might be or whenever, live long and prosper, y'all.